What is up? What is up? Dark Match Steve up in this motherfucker. Where the fuck am I? Here I am. What's up? What's up? Who's feeling a little bit slutty tonight? Who? Fat Pig. What's up, dude? Fat Pig's always the first one in chat. Then again, this might just be Holyoke Joe. Fat Pig might actually just be Holyoke Joe. I don't know. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Look, we got a lot of shit to get to today, but I guarantee you tomorrow is gonna be a funny show. Okay. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, I just been talking with some people, DMing, and it's very funny. It's very interesting. I know that the person I was just talking to in the DMs, I know that they aren't watching right now. But, anyway. What is up? This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve, people. Who the fuck is up in here? Oh, Holyoke Joe just left the chat, I think. I'm down with another person already. Okay, well, anyway, here we are. Dark Match Steve. Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. That's what this little program's called. We're gonna get to. I can't be on here late tonight. Again, people, I've got another parody song in the works. This one is actually for the Bubba Show, for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. It's not going to be a political song, even though I should do another one of those soon. But yeah, fucking where are we at here? Yeah, we're gonna get into this Destiny and who is it? Jesse on Fire. I don't even know who this other guy is in this debate. But we're going to get right to this because tomorrow, or not tomorrow, tonight, I got a parody song in the works. I got I actually could have a political one soon as well, but yeah, I'm working on one for the Bubba show. I don't know if they really I don't know if they really care about parody songs anymore. I mean, anyway, we'll get into all of that tomorrow. All kinds of stuff to talk about related to that and the person DMing me. Okay. We got plenty to get to tomorrow. But yeah, so let's get right into this. Fucking oh, and full disclosure, Holyoke Joe, anyone that's we're gonna go through we're gonna talk about a lot tomorrow, but Holyoke Joe's been messaging me all kinds of crazy shit. I literally don't know what to think. The fact that the fat pig has not been back in here to comment makes me think that the fat pig might actually be Holyoke Joe as well. Um anyway. Oh fuck! That shit is so funny. Okay, so yeah, there's a straight up crazy person messaging me, and look, I'm crazy too. I use that word loosely. Okay, so don't get mad if you're watching a person I'm referring to, but yeah, anyway, we're all over the place tonight. I don't even have a bowl packed yet. Look at this. Look at this. Am I supposed to smoke that? It's fucking ashes. Okay, let's get to this debate real quick.
In the population who agree with them.
Hey! Okay, we're going to start this over. Now, this is... God damn it!
Hey, it must be your lucky day. We have a free upgraded...
He thinks he's smart because he talks.
God, get out of here. What do we do? Okay. We're going to get right through this debate together. Okay, don't be afraid. I know some people might be like, what the fuck? I don't watch debates. Like, I'm too stupid. I can't keep up with it. We're going to do this together. Don't worry. I'm going to get through this debate whether or not Holyoke Joe wants me to. Okay, we're going to do this together. I'm ashing this thing, this pipe. I'm going to put tobacco in this CBD tobacco Damiana herbs inside of my pipe. What? I'm just playing, bro. I actually don't know. The fat pig, I will say I don't know that you're Holyoke Joe. I don't know who's Holyoke Joe anymore. I just got through having him absolutely harass me through messages in my Facebook chat as I was cooking and eating eggs and bacon. I got Holyoke Joe messaging me. I'm packing a bowl real quick, okay, people? We're gonna get right to the debate. But yeah, I don't know who's who anymore. I don't know who's Holyoke Joe in my chat. He says he doesn't have any other fake accounts, and look, we all know that's not true. At least the word on the street is he has like 10 fake accounts, and I think half of the people in my stream, half the people watching are Holyoke Joe accounts, I think. I'm not sure though. So I mean, whatever. He's saying I'm slandering him. I'm every time I mention this, I say straight up, I don't know what accounts are Holyoke Joe. This guy is basically like stalking me at this point. I don't know if he is. That's the thing. And he likes that. Holyoke Joe likes that I don't know which accounts are him and who's stalking me. I like it too, though. I think that that's funny. I I really do. I'm having fun not knowing who the fuck is in my chat. You know what? The fat pig. I will 100% believe that you're not Holyoke Joe if I do a video call with you and I can see your face. That's fine. I don't know. I don't remember what your voice sounds like exactly. And it could be Holyoke Joe with a voice changer. I don't know. But it's all right though. I don't have to know. I have granted. I understand that the nature of reality, the world we live in, the nature of this world is illusion. And I don't have time to break that down why that is true, okay? But that is the nature of our world, is illusion. The fact that, some people think they need to like grasp onto stuff and really know what is happening. That's not how I roll, baby. I just I get it. I'm tripping right now. I'm probably still tripping from some LSD I took back in high school. And I'm in some kind of coma or something. That's okay with me. You know what? I'm just here. I have no other choice. I'm just doing the thing. Okay. But anyway, we're going to get through this fucking debate. I can't be on here too late. I'm working on parody songs and all this other shit. So anyway, we'll get into some of the Holyoke Joe stuff tomorrow, I guess. Maybe we'll talk all about this because it's so funny. Oh, fuck. So anyway, Destiny, let's get into it. Destiny debated this guy, Jesse on Fire. Again, I don't know who the fuck this is. I guess this is supposed to be some fucking conservative guy. I don't fucking know. But I haven't watched the whole thing. I skipped through to get, I've watched a few good chunks out of this. I basically know what topics are going to come up, but, and I skimmed through to get a good thumbnail to use. But anyway, we all know Destiny's smart as fuck. He's one of the best debaters on the Democrat side. And fucking Jesse on Fire, just from these clips I've seen, he doesn't seem like probably like the best debater. But we'll maybe do some fact checking here. I wanted to do some. There's a couple things that come up, and I should have prepped more if I had time. Again, I'm working. I got all kinds of shit going on, but yeah, there's we might end up fact checking and doing some shit if it doesn't get too late. I'll play some other I'll play some other clips to add context to some of this. But yeah, so anyway, these guys are going to spar right here with words. Let's get into it.
A lot. He's got his brains going. Brrr. Kick that guy off of his drug.
By the way, just as a heads up, and I know this because of conservative friends I have in the industry, all of these guys do coke like crazy. There's a reason why they're so quick to jump to this. It took me a long time to learn this a long time ago when when Zerka would always accuse me of doing whatever, like Adderall or whatever. I didn't realize at the time, like 5 or 6 years ago, that so many different streamers abused amphetamines too. But yeah, this guy.
Am I the only streamer that's not on some kind of uppers? I use nicotine toothpicks and cannabis, and for YouTube's intents and purposes, this is CBD. Okay, this isn't real drugs. So what are all the other streamers are on uppers apparently? Some kind of amphetamines, some kind of fucking drugs to help you concentrate, Adderall, or cocaine. I guess the people on the right use cocaine. And I don't know why Destiny would have a problem with that, since the candidate he backed for 4 years has a son with addiction to cocaine. So I'm assuming he personally doesn't have a problem with it, but he's just calling this guy out.
Is a druggie 1 trillion%. If he's that keen to project it, absolutely.
Binge or whatever, like she's probably on a prescription. It's probably just smashing Adderall like it's his job. Take that away and see how smart he sounds. It's very obvious.
Like, it's so funny, like these guys that are new to the scene that Yep, that's me. I just appeared 8 months ago. Yeah, wasn't here before.
Now you have my full attention.
All right. Do you remember what or do you want to start?
All right, so yeah, that was a previously clip. I guess this is how this conversation ended up happening. Was this guy talked some shit about Destiny on the stream or something? And here we go.
Go for it.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, we could just start with. I guess we could start with like what I said in the video that I saw that you wanted. Well, you were responding.
1 second. Hold on. Oh yeah. Where are we? Okay.
On YouTube. Essentially, the point that I've been making. Actually, I guess my central thesis about everything related to the world now is that there's been like a gravity.
Here we go. Up in my chat. You messaged me first out of the blue and kept pushing me about the fake account shit. No, I didn't. No, I didn't, Joe. Look, we're doing a debate tonight, Joe. That's what we're doing. If you want to, tomorrow we'll go through. We'll go through all the shit you sent me tomorrow, motherfucker. Joe! Look, people, it's not good to have like a crazy stalker or a person that's completely unhinged messaging you and stuff. But if you're going to have one, this is the guy that you want. Holyoke Joe. This guy is so, the way he does his gimmick is so funny to me. It's so funny. Oh, fuck. Okay, Joe. There he is, fat pig. Yes. There's Joe. And he said he doesn't want to watch my stream and he fucking hates me. He pretty much said all that. And here he is. Gotta love him. He's insane. Okay. Yes. I mean, anyway, let's move on here. Destiny, and look, I'm not gonna, Joe, feel free to write in my chat, but I'm not, I gotta get off not too late tonight, so we're gonna get through this debate, okay? And that's no disrespect to you, for real. I think you're funny as fuck, whatever the fuck kind of gimmick you're running, whatever fucking angle you're working, I think it's so fucking funny, man. You actually have me not knowing what the fuck's going on. And I appreciate that. I do. I think it's very funny. So anyway, who's better, Trump or Kamala? Let's do this debate.
Gravitational atomic bomb that got thrown into every single issue now, which is Trump. And from my seat, basically, the way that I assess whether or not someone's opinion is...
My hair is fucked up, but what is going on with this guy's hair? He's got like the line where you would part your hair, but instead of parting it, he shaved the one side where it should. Is that what we're looking at?
One that I should, listen hard to see if I've missed something, because I change my mind all the time. And I watched you with Jordan Peterson. I thought that was a great conversation. But from my perspective, you're one of these guys, like there's a few of you guys where I can just recognize it's like objective, Trump, brain broken. And it's like where you guys attribute this like cartoon character villain to him. And like the way that I look at all of this stuff.
Destiny right now, he's going through his head. He's just going, false slate of electors. He encouraged violence at the Capitol. False slate of electors. That's what he's thinking. Go.
Is if you can't understand a person's driving force, why they do things, and then ultimately what the thought process was behind an action that they take, you can't really understand what even happened. And so if you make an incorrect assumption about what a person's intentions were, then every single fact that you're going to look at subsequent to that is going to support an incorrect conclusion. Is that fair? That like if you don't understand, or
yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like with Trump, I know so many people now that actually know him, because like a history of my kind of relationship to Trump politically was in 2016. I was appalled that he was president. I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. I was like, I saw it as like an institution that is sacred to the country and all of that. So I'm like, you can't just throw people into a role like that. But what I saw after that, as he, started to figure out the job, is that there was this other thing happening, and he started to look a lot more presidential to me while he was in the seat. And then simultaneously, as we're watching like all of the million different actions that were being taken against him at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay. So there.
Hey, what's up? Is it Valvez BTW? What's up? What's up? You're not Holyoke Joe, are you? Joe the Supermark? Is this another account of yours? I don't know. I'm just kidding. What's up? Please like and subscribe or whatever. You're on Twitch? Oh, yeah, you're on Twitch. What's up? What's up? Yeah, please follow me on Twitch and whatnot. I stream 5 nights a week around 8 o'clock. We go over all kinds of shit, debates and whatnot. If you go to my YouTube channel, I got parody songs and all kinds of shit. And I'm trying to rebuild my stuff because my YouTube got deleted. So please help a brother out.
There's like this really big thing that's incredibly dishonest and very dangerous to the system, much more dangerous than him. And so like, I can guarantee that you and I could look at an identical set of facts. And if Trump is involved, we will have diametrically opposite conclusions. And it's probably for the same reason, except in reverse, where you see Trump as a cartoon villain, which I know is not true because I know so many people who actually know him personally. And I will most likely take, make a conclusion that there is a group of, central bankers.
Now, I just to show, if we're paying attention here, you can already see kinks in this guy's armor where he's saying, I know Trump is a certain way because I know people that know him. That's just like, that's kind of sloppy. It really is. At least I know in the realm of debating destiny that he may as well have not even said that, because it means nothing.
That are behind literally every single thing that happens that's negative about Trump, and I'll be right like 70% of the time. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, if you want, we can play this game. I can ascribe my internal drive to him. You can ascribe your internal drive to him, and then we can just look at different scenarios and we can see who's offers the greater explanation.
Let's do it.
Yeah, mine is pretty simple. I think that Trump is a raging narcissist. I think that everything he does is to...
This guy, he really... For talking shit about Destiny, you did a whole little segment talking shit about Destiny. You don't give off the vibe like you have a fucking clue what's about to happen to you. You truly don't give off that vibe. You really already, I mean, I'm jumping the gun here, but he already not like he lost the debate, but he's lost in it or something. You already let Destiny set this up like, okay, let's figure out internal drives and see. I'll ascribe my internal drive that Trump's a fucking maniac, and you'll ascribe yours, and we'll see which one fits shit more. I mean, how do you not know that this is just this is a bad place to start?
Who is in the service of himself. I'll say that. I think it's a very simple thing. Everything he does is in the service of his ego and to make himself feel better and more hyped up on himself, and that's it. What do you think is the driving force behind him?
Well, I think everybody's driving force in most cases is themselves in one way or another, in terms of like, there are people who dedicate a lot of time to charity. Even that is to make themselves feel better, or feel good. What I see from Trump is, I think that what he wants more than anything else in the world is he wants to be loved, and he wants to be loved universally, and he can't get enough of it. It's like the more people give him positive energy, the better it is for him. And so it's like people ascribe malice to the things that he's doing. Like he's like some kind of dictator tyrant after power. And all I care about is how has he approached the job of being president? Who is he thinking about as he's proposing policies, and ultimately why? And what I see is he wants to earn the love of the people who are in this country by delivering good outcomes for him. That's literally exactly what I see. Now, it might be due to some kind of like hysterical narcissism where he like needs to be adored and loved, but I don't give a fuck about that. Like if what he is actually doing to try to earn that is going to end up driving good results for citizens in the country, then that's good. That's aces with me. I assume all these politicians are in the head.
Okay. I mean, I think Trump is significantly more than the other ones. I think he's significantly more narcissistic than the other ones. I think that people have different leveled interests in terms of being interested in the benefit of their political party, or in the benefit of the United States, or in the benefit of for citizens. And I think there's a difference between that and just doing things just to benefit yourself. But I feel like you're saying that he wants to be loved universally. I feel like it's a bit reductive because I guess you're saying like even if he's doing charity, he's doing it because he wants to be loved. So I don't know how different our predictions are going to be there.
It truly is. I'm trying to be fair here. I get that Trump. I get the narcissist take that you're just like, wow, this guy's just all about himself. How can you think he wants to do anything for citizens? He doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about your average American citizen. He's just looking out for himself. How do you get the opposite feeling from Tim Walz and Kamala Harris or Joe Biden? Joe Biden at the fucking DNC looked like he was personally angry about how he lost that debate to Trump. He was literally just angry, just fucking pissed. And, I don't see where Kamala truly seems like just a dumb bitch. And dumb bitches, ratchet bitches, just do not give a fuck about other people. So where are we getting this, this charitable interpretation of Kamala's actual stupid ass who can't speak she can't complete a sentence unless it's rehearsed. Watch any interview with her, any back and forth with her and somebody that's not a prepared question or a prepared speech. And it's like talking to the most uneducated Indian chick that you ever met that's like in elementary school. It's that retarded when you listen to her speak. It's fucked up. But I'm saying I don't like that we have to pick either of these people. Really. I mean, why is this what we have on the fucking ballot? This is a sign of our broken country.
Because it kind of sounds like we're using a similar internal drive. I
guess.
So
even if he's even in your case, if he's a narcissist that's trying to serve himself, what is he trying to accomplish?
He's trying to better his own reputation, even if it's at the expense of the United States. That's the issue. I want a president that puts the country first, not himself first.
See, I see it exactly opposite. I think that he wants to. I think he does want to cement his legacy and his reputation, but I see it as that he plans and is trying to do that through improving circumstances and lives in the United States.
Okay.
I mean, when I look at well, let me ask you this actually.
Mm-hmm.
What is your viewpoint?
It's a crazy. I know I'm going to start and stop this too much here, but it is kind of crazy to think that Trump is just doing it for his reputation. I mean, why would I? Maybe it's like you're in too deep now. He has to go for a second term, but everyone loved Trump before he ran as a Republican. You remember when he used to talk there? If you go and look back, I don't remember, but I've seen the videos from different interviews in the past 20, 30 years when they asked Trump about being president, and they're interviewing him, and every fucking celebrity is a fan of his and envious of him. And just he had a stellar reputation, maybe just not as big or well known of a reputation. Now he's a household name, but people fucking hate his name. They're over half the country fucking hates him. So and before the elections, had you asked people about Donald Trump across the country, I think it would have been 90% of people in each party would say, Republican or Democrat, independent, who the fuck ever, would say, oh yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, he's cool as fuck. He's rich. The 10% of people that would hate Donald Trump would be the very few people that maybe live in New York or something that would be like, oh yeah, no, he wouldn't rent a house to some black people or something. I think that's one of the things that they throw out about his history, or anyway. Yeah, it would be I feel like his reputation is worse now. He's just more well known. So it is an odd, if Destiny is citing that as Trump's motivation for everything, it's odd. I don't see how Trump could even think oh yeah, if I get to be president again, then I'm going to do some stuff that's going to make all the Democrats change their mind about me. That's such a fat chance. I don't even think Trump, in the worst interpretation of Trump's ego and stuff. I don't think he is even, or Trump's stupidity. I don't even think Trump's dumb enough or narcissistic enough to think that that's possible, to change half of the country's mind with one more term.
Point on the way that the system seems to attack anyone who's around him. Like, got Peter
Blummels, what's up, buddy? How's it going, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging in the stream. Other Bubba Army people are, anyway, we're there's lots of Holyoke Joe drama. Just be careful. He may message you, Blummels. Blummels, are you Holyoke Joe also? I'm just kidding. Fat pig, you'll call in Friday and expose everything. I wasn't saying on the show. You can call me whenever and just do a video call, and then I'll know you're not Holyoke Joe also. All right, let's go.
The people they're throwing in jail. There are,
he surrounds himself with a lot of really bad people.
So like all of them.
A lot of them, yeah.
Like you're comfortable with them stripping Rudy Giuliani of his law license in New York.
Rudy Giuliani should go to jail. Yeah. Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That's where, like, from a base perspective, it's like same exact situations. You and I will see it differently because. So here's how I think that the entire system works.
Well, wait. Let's go on Rudy Giuliani. Okay. So we don't have to dive into every single thing, but we'll do one particular thing. Okay. So Rudy Giuliani, as part of Trump's whole election fraud thing, he made claims about ballot counting and video camera footage, like in Georgia, right? Giuliani made very specific claims, especially revolving around a lady called Ruby Freeman. He was
ballot boxes or boxes of ballots under the tables. I saw the video.
Yeah. That came from him. Okay. So the video was heavily edited. All the claims about Ruby were false. She took him to civil court afterwards to sue him for defamation. He admitted in civil court that he lied, but it was his First Amendment right to, and he lost that case for $147 million. If he's an attorney representing somebody, you don't think this is grounds for disbarring someone?
I don't know whether or not first of all, I have no idea whether or not those the videos are real or not. That's the world I live in. Is someone can take Rudy Giuliani to court, say that he was, that he heavily edited these and so on and so forth. And I still don't feel like I have even a moderate handle on whether that's true or not.
See, this is one of the things, like, I don't think this guy has even really, he doesn't even know any of these counterpoints, these counterfacts that Destiny, I don't think he has a clue about this shit. And we'll see as we go on how, and no offense to the guy, but oblivious he is to some of the stuff. And I'm not saying everyone needs to know what happened with, all of the behind the scenes, the scheme that Trump was running while the insurrection was happening. Not, people have shit going on in their lives. Maybe if you're a political commentator, maybe you should know. But anyway, I don't think he has a clue about the Giuliani shit. Now, what Destiny's point, I've heard him bring this up a lot, is Giuliani saying that he lied. And, someone's defense in civil court is not them saying, oh, I lied and it was my First Amendment right to, and whatever. That isn't actually even proof that he lied. You could say it's maybe decent evidence, but that just could have been his defense as an attorney. He saw through like all the angles he could to defend himself against whatever. And then he's like, oh, well, I'll just say I lied and I'll pay her the fucking money and let's move the fuck on. And then he ended up getting disbarred. I don't know. Now the issue with that video, the Georgia video with the ballots, the ballot box under the table, I'm not even that's not one of my key issues with the election that makes me question the validity of the 2020 election. So I don't know that much about those boxes. I saw people sharing the videos and people having different opinions on what exactly is going on in that video where they bring the ballot box from under the table and start running through those machines. I thought a lot of the problems that people had with that was that it was after they had closed down and people had already left, right? That the election office or whatever the fuck was closed, and like people had the people I think that were supposed to be watching them count left, or I thought that was part of the issue with that. Not that, oh, it's ballots from under the table, so we know that they're not the correct ballots or something. You know, they're extras. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on here. Giuliani lied and admitted that he lied and lost his, he got disbarred. So anyway, that's where we are with this.
Because the way that I see all of this is that the powers that are behind the effort to discredit, slander, and ultimately prevent Trump from attaining power again are literally the most powerful people in the entire world. To where, like Dominion, I don't know shit about.
Okay, one thing we'll do. Yeah, one thing at a time. Okay. So the reason why you feel that way is because people like Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump are trying to make you feel that way.
Yep. No, the reason I feel that way is because for 3 years, you got to remember, dude, I was on your team initially.
No, you were not. I promise.
I hated Trump.
I don't hate Trump. I just hate everything he stands for. I don't hate him because I hate Trump. I believe very much in American values and American institutions and American democracy and what this country is supposed to stand for. These are the reasons I don't like Trump. Not if you support Trump. If you support Trump, you are fundamentally un-American and don't believe in American values. For reasons we can get into in a bit, but. If you want, real quick, it's absolutely true. If you want, I shot you a link on Twitter. I don't know how much of this you want to run through, but I can explain it to you also if you want. But
no, we don't need to go through it. Okay. This is what I'm saying is like any of these things where we get into the facts is like the way that I look at.
Let's get into the facts. This is the fucked up part. This guy, if you're gonna debate destiny on this shit, this is why I feel like not that I would win a debate. I feel like I would do better in a debate against Destiny because I don't have loyalty to any party. If he's actually able to convince me that Trump was full of shit and actually tried to end democracy on January 6th, he might be able to. And that's not going to make me fucking cry or lose, whatever credibility or lose friends, lose sleep. I don't give a fuck. This guy is actually almost seems a little bit worried, scared about going over the evidence here because it's gonna change his mind.
The way that I look at guys, specifically you, Sam Harris, Bill Maher, guys who I think are smart, excellent at structuring arguments, great at debating, walk people into traps, very good at
you're describing what Rudy Giuliani has done to people like you. Is good at structuring arguments and walking people into traps.
I literally I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of the stuff that Rudy Giuliani has said.
Well, but you have a strong opinion about him being disbarred, and I'm telling you that he said that he lied about Ruby Freeman, and he did. You can watch their original presentation to the Georgia Senate. You can see where they skip at 20 minutes in the video to hide the fact where the ballots are put underneath that table, because I already know what video you've seen. It was the one that was published by OAN. You think you've seen a video of ballots being pulled mysteriously under a table.
Oh, I have no idea what the video is that I saw.
Okay, I know which one it is because
I know what the video is, but I don't. Whatever impression you have of whatever this kind of massive group of people that you think are like Trumpers or whatever and how they interpret information, I promise I don't fall into those boxes.
Well, then why do you think it's bad that Giuliani might be disbarred?
Because the guy he's the mayor of New York. So the guy put the entire New York mafia in prison.
So
and no one ever broke his balls about anything until he started standing next to Trump. I mean,
maybe when he was doing the RICO stuff and putting people in prison, maybe he wasn't breaking the law then or acting in unlawyerly conduct. Maybe he did do that under Trump. Is that possible?
Are we going to pretend that we live in a world where high-powered individuals just get prosecuted for things that they may or may not have done? That's the whole point. It's like they convicted Trump of a 34-count indictment. They convicted 34 felonies.
Just stay on Giuliani. Just one thing at a time.
But it's the same thing.
It's not. Exactly it is the same thing. You've been fed misinformation, and you want to think that everything is the same as everything else. And so,
I haven't been, what I'm telling you is I have not been fed misinformation because I don't look into any of these things strongly. I look at the outcomes and I go, oh, all right. So, I know about this story,
Dude. This is not good. This is not a good debate performance. I guess this isn't real debate, but this doesn't look good for you. How can you say, oh, I know that I haven't been fed propaganda because I haven't looked into any of this at all? That is actually insane. That is the most insane defense ever. I know I'm not fed propaganda because I haven't looked into any of this. So but he has an opinion. That's the thing, is he has an opinion on all this, but openly admits he hasn't looked into it and uses that as justification as to why he knows he doesn't believe bullshit propaganda. That's actually crazy.
None of them faced any type of problems whatsoever, but this guy's standing next to Trump, whether he did anything wrong or not, they will try to destroy him, bankrupt him, ruin his reputation, take away his law license, and literally leave him rotting in a cell if that's what, they decide to do.
He deserves it.
Florida Phil, what's up, bro? Great to see you in here. How's it going? Buffalo Airport? What are you coming back to Florida? Where are you going? Where the fuck are you going? Yeah, bro, what's up? I don't know if you're subscribed yet. Please subscribe, hit the like, all that stuff. Facebook, YouTube, wherever the fuck. I could use a support. I'm on here pretty much around 7:30, 8 o'clock every weeknight. So feel free to check in.
Though he lied. He went in front of multiple state legislatures and he lied. He went in front of the country and he lied. He fed into one of the largest lies that's been told. 80% of Republicans, probably you included, still think that the 2020 election was a fraud because of lies that he helped perpetuate. And he admitted that in court when he was finally sued on these things. He said, "Yeah, I lied, but it's my First Amendment right to lie." And he lost those cases. Like, it's all a lie.
Well,
but you think that it's all the same in your mind for no reason though. Why?
It is all the same. It is all the same. Like on Rudy Giuliani, again, I know none of this stuff.
You have an opinion on it. You think it's wrong that he's being disbarred.
I think it's an example of something that is happening constantly to anybody who is around Trump.
Maybe a lot of them, maybe Trump surrounds himself with bad people and liars because Trump is a bad person and liar.
Incredibly powerful people who are leveraging every institutional way that they can bring the government, the legal system down on a person that they do not want in the presidency. And maybe, they control the media also. They did nothing but pump out and continue to.
What you're describing, what you're describing is what Trump does. He tries to take down everybody that he doesn't like. He's threatened every single Republican lawmaker who doesn't buy into his agenda. He'll say, "We're not going to help you in your reelection." He said it on the call to Raffensperger. I was a schmuck for helping Kemp win his election in Georgia. He threatened Fox News. That's why they started to run all the Dominion bullshit from Sidney Powell, is because Trump said he's not going to go on Fox News anymore. He's attacking them now because they're not. Remember after they called Arizona and he started going off on Fox? Like, Trump does everything that you're describing. Every single thing you're describing is what he does. That's his playbook. But you're pretending that the Democrats do it.
I'm not talking to Democrats. I don't see the world as Democrats, Republicans. I think that is the mechanism that the people who actually run the world use to ensure that they have vice grip control over anyone who's going to sit in any type of office that can pull strings globally. I think that Trump slipped in the back door because they thought he couldn't beat Hillary Clinton. He won, and they were like, "What the fuck? He won't listen to anybody. He's doing things his own way because he's Trump." They start wigging out. They're like, "We need to get this guy the fuck out of here." And the way that I ended up changing my mind and deciding that the bigger kind of threat to what I see as American values, America in general, which is I see America as the citizens of the country. That's all I see America as, is when I listened to, I literally watched and read every single thing about the Russia collusion case for 3 years, literally for 3 years. And I was watching it just going, he's finished. Like, he is going to get buried. And knowing at the same time that if the conclusion of this investigation that Mueller's putting together is not him being indicted for the things that they're saying, then there is a completely different world that we live in, because MSNBC has been saying this as facts. If even like,
how do you feel about, well, let's say that's true then. How do you feel about the fact that nothing came out of Hillary's emails?
You mean Hillary's acid wash server, you mean?
Yeah, you mean like Trump's campaign party, his association with Roger Stone, who's associated with the person who hacked Hillary's DNC email server, the Guccifer 2.0? I mean, we can both play that game, but I'm asking you, did you feel the same way? Did you feel the same level of resentment when nothing came out of all the Hillary stuff as you did out of the Trump stuff?
Wait, the level of resentment, well, the Hillary stuff is that she had a private server, and when
hey, look, we got stuff out of the Hillary emails. We did, but Destiny doesn't want to talk about that. We got plenty stuff out of the emails. Hashtag pizza, okay? We know a lot more about Hillary Clinton.
It got subpoenaed, she acid washed it as opposed to turn it in. Hillary Clinton is the scariest person ever. That is literally the last enemy I have respect for her. She's probably one of the most powerful women to ever live, but she is a vindictive, incredibly powerful person that I even get nervous talking about her too much on the internet. But she had a private server where who knows what's on it. I don't like to speculate, but she acid washed it as opposed to turn it into the people who are trying to investigate her. It's pretty gangster that she could do that and not face any consequences. But the hacked emails, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, they'd be pretty stupid to be talking about any kind of like nefarious criminal stuff through
unless they were using code, right? It'd be really stupid. It'd be really sloppy for Hillary and her chief of staff, Tamara Lozado, and the fucking FBI talking about Obama's hot dog parties and stuff. That would all be really sloppy if they weren't doing that with some really, really good code that no one would be able to pick up on. And when they did pick up on, it would be easy to dismiss that they're just exchanging recipes. That's what Hillary Clinton called it. Brigotto recipes. That's what the excuse was. All that pizza talk. It was just John Podesta's fucking secret recipes.
Server that's shared by her entire campaign.
Okay, well, I'm not even sure what to say. I think it's incredibly sad that I feel like half the country, you included, has just been completely wiped away by the Trump brainwashing stuff. You're just factually completely ungrounded. You're off in outer space right now in terms of like the things that you believe. We can go through any individual particular case if you want. I can talk to you about the entire Hillary thing from start to finish. I can talk to you about how there are standard procedures to wipe servers, including the destruction of devices. I can talk to you about how you don't even care about the fact that she had a private email server, because I bet you've never talked about the fact that Donald Trump and his people were using private phones and emails, but Republicans never care when it happened. I mean, we can go through any one of these things in detail if you want, and I promise you will be wrong on every single thing. But it's up to you what you have the patience for.
I guarantee. that regardless of what topic that we talk about, if Trump is involved, your conclusion will always be the same. Like if whether you know this about yourself or not, this is a fact. If Trump jaywalked in New York and a person got hit by a car across the street, Attorney General filed aggravated manslaughter charges against Trump because he's a famous person and he should have known that if he crossed the street without using the sidewalk, that people could get killed. So that's what we're doing. You would be on here supporting an aggravated manslaughter charge because the dude jaywalked. That's
You know what? I think since the January 6th stuff, this guy is kind of right on this point. I mean, I'm about 50-50 on his side. Destiny, the January 6th stuff has completely changed Destiny to where he has this ferocious, merciless hatred for Donald Trump and his supporters, because he truly thinks that Donald Trump was going to, end democracy by throwing out the electoral votes and the false elector scheme and all that shit. He truly thinks that Trump was going to end democracy with that. So he has this pure personal hatred towards Donald Trump. And I feel like he would be a little bit less charitable. But, Destiny was so fair on the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. And, I feel like, he does tend to be fair with some things. But I think at this point, not that if he brings facts to back up his opinion with any Trump thing, then it's fair game. And he normally does. But yeah, I do think he has and this is a post-Jan. Like I said, I feel like before January 6th, he'd be a little bit more fair to Trump. But since then, he takes every chance he can to fucking kick Trump when he's down.
You hate him. Like, you guys hate him. And if you say you don't hate him, I disagree with you.
I mean, I think he's un-American, and I think he's a threat to the order of the United States. Like, I think he's historically bad for the country, and I think that he's bad.
Yeah. Albert Jace, thanks for checking out the stream. Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Dude, I voted for Trump twice, the first two elections, just being in full disclosure here. But I have my issues with Trump, and I don't want to vote for him a third time. I really don't. I'm sick of it. I wish Trump could have truly acted better in a lot of ways. And I wouldn't have to, every Trump supporter, if you actually deal with the kind of facts that Destiny brings to talk shit about Trump, if you actually confront that shit, it's difficult as a Trump voter to truly be like, oh yeah, I back Trump 100%. Yeah, it's like, like I did that for the first election and pretty much into the second one too. But yeah, I'm sick of having, for any politician, I'm sick of having to give them plausible deniability for everything, for fucking everything. This goes across the board. Trump getting rid of fucking bump stocks, and I get the Supreme Court has undid it now or whatever, and some Trump cocksuckers would just totally be like, oh well, he knew that would happen, and who gives a fuck about bump stocks? I don't want guns regulated more. And we could get into, I'm more than happy to get into a long form conversation about the laws we currently have, how they're enforced, and the issues with all of that shit and adding more laws. We could get into that. But that's across the board. So when there's these videos about Kamala, like, oh yeah, I want to ban assault weapons and ban the import of assault weapons, and Destiny's like, oh well, she's just talking about banning the import of them. And like the 94 bill, for the gun bill from 94, that was also regulated. It was regulations for assault weapons, which is semi-automatic firearms. Now, what they don't tell you is, oh, assault weapons. Well, yeah, we'll get rid of those, but people will still be able to defend themselves. No, assault weapons is like 80% of I haven't looked the numbers up, but it's a huge percentage of all the firearms on the market. I mean, There's a few like, the lever action rifles and revolvers and, random shit like that. That will be all that is not regulated if it's truly that harsh. But the 94 bill allowed all these guns to be grandfathered in, and guns that were in the market that were built before that, I forget what month it was in 94. All of those guns got grandfathered in. So technically, if the 94 bill happened again, it's been a while since I looked this up, but I think according to those rules, I might not even, I would be pissed that they're trying to regulate guns again, but I wouldn't protest that bad if it was truly just going to be like, we're not going to bring in any more and we're not going to manufacture any more in the United States. You can't own one that's been manufactured or imported here after the bill was signed. Look, I have guns and you could still be able to buy some on the market. So, it's whatever, but I have to, again, that requires me to give plausible deniability to like, oh, well, whatever, it probably won't be so bad. She probably does have some respect for the Second Amendment, even though, she probably thinks it's just for hunting or whatever. And yeah, the bill might not be, if she just wants to regulate, I'll vote for her because she just wants to regulate assault weapons. I have to give her plausible deniability that, oh, well, clearly that's no respect for the Second Amendment, but she's not going to completely try to regulate all the guns and disarm people, right? I'm sick of having to give plausible deniability. There's no fucking perfect candidate for me. I feel like I'm truly a centrist at more than ever since I've been in voting, involved in politics at all. I'm not happy with Trump. I'm definitely, though, not happy with fucking Tim Walz, the tampon man, and fucking Kamala Harris, the cackling fucking fake black witch. None of it is making me happy. So I agree with you here. Destiny he can be pretty fair for the most part. I don't agree with him on everything, but he's mostly fair. I do agree.
Bad for what this country represents. I think that people like you have a greater allegiance to Trump than any part of the United States.
That's ridiculous. You know nothing about my politics at all. That's completely not true. That's just fundamentally not true at all.
Okay.
At all.
Do you think
that you know nothing about your politics either, bro? You haven't looked anything up. You admitted you don't know anything about what you're about to talk about.
I'll give you an example of here's how I see America. Perfect example. Brittany Griner is arrested in Russia, and you have a lot of conservative retards that are like, let him have her. Let him have her. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? She's an American, and she's in a Russian gulag, and she's being held as a political prisoner. She's American. Like, we can argue about whether her views are stupid or not when she gets home, but I will always have her back because she's American, and she's being held, again, as a political pawn in Russia. Like, to me, Americans are America. And what I'm saying is, like, and I'm sure you're sick of talking about the firemen, but like, this is your guys' issues. You've attributed so much villainy to Trump that a thing like a father firefighter, a guy who goes fishing on Saturday, a guy who, doubles as a church cleric or whatever, can be at a rally with his family having a good time, and a minute later he can get shot in the face, and his daughters actually see their father's blown up corpse in front of them. And it makes sense to you that guy is not worthy of empathy because he was a Trump supporter, not any of those other things. That's what I'm talking about. Is like when people say the Trump derangement syndrome thing, that's what they're talking about. They're
supporters have spent their entire lives of Trump in office, the past 8 years, making fun of or going after George Floyd, BLM victims, and Paul Pelosi. That guy, yeah, he tweeted out some dumb shit as well. Yeah, about the Japanese will get over the fucking nuclear bombs. That I would save Putin over 3 other like Democratic politicians or whatever. Like,
so he deserves to have his face.
Look, I want Destiny to be allowed to say that fireman was a fucking, I want him to say whatever he wants to say. So I'm allowed to talk about Pelosi's husband getting hit with a hammer. It should all be fair game. I don't want to start thinking about regulating this kind of stuff. We got to be able to talk shit, okay? It's more fun. The politics, it's not even real. You don't know who the fuck's running this country. Let's just be able to at least talk shit. Come on.
Face blown up over his daughters.
Deserving to have your face blown up is different than somebody not having sympathy for something happening to him. Those are two different things. Somebody deserves to die at a political rally or anything, obviously. But like having sympathy for a side that has continued to ratchet up the temperature.
It's not a side. It's a dude. It's a single dude. That's what I'm saying. I do not see the world like you, and it has nothing to do with Trump or whatever. If Trump disappeared tomorrow, my view of America would be identical. Like, to me, that's an American father who was at a rally with his daughters, who tried to save his kids, and he got murdered in front of his kids. I have 3 daughters. I don't even think I could accurately describe the level of trauma that would lead. It would destroy their lives. It would destroy my children's lives, these innocent little babies. If that was something that they saw, that's the end of their father getting his face blown up on top of them. And it's like, if you can't find empathy in that, like where you're like, man, I mean, it means you've dehumanized the supporters, and you keep saying like this side. He's a guy. Like he's just a guy who probably just watches a different channel than you do.
Yeah, it's not just watching a different channel. Like your side is involved in the destruction of this country, like the actual
80 million,
destruction
like
of this country. Yes, however many people are supporting Donald Trump, who is an un-American treasonous president. Yes, are leading to like the destruction of this country. Yes, absolutely.
And 80 million people on this side see the identical situation on the other side.
Yeah, but the difference is those people are idiots.
I would say the same in reverse.
I know you would. The difference between you and me is if you want to dive into the facts of any of these particular things, I will gladly do it, but you'll avoid it like the plague. Of course, you don't want to talk.
Get into the facts, you pussy. Jesse, you big fucking pussy. Debate him. You have him right here. God damn it. Why can't anybody have any fucking, do some research and have a fucking opinion? God fucking damn it.
Talk about what Rudy Giuliani was involved in, because if you did, you'd have to admit that there's a really good reason to disbar him. And of course,
I wouldn't get into a fact-based conversation about any of this stuff because I already know your opinion, and I'm sure that you have.
It's not about my opinion. It's just the facts of the case. It's just the facts of the matter. It's very simple. You look at the court docs. You can look at the rulings. Like Trump was convicted.
I won't get into a fact-based argument. He just wants to sit here and fucking meme. People hate Trump. People hate the people around Trump. It is insane. Oh, God. Look, is part of my frustration here that I wish I could debate Destiny in a couple things, and I know he'll never talk to me because I have a tiny ass YouTube channel and he won't debate anybody unless you're over 100,000 subscribers. Yes, some of this comes from frustration, okay? But still, this is you're supposed to be some political, you got Trump shoes back here. You're fully invested into the whole sucking the Trump D, and you have no facts. You don't want to talk about any facts. Holy shit. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't know where the fuck I am in this election anymore. This is why people like this. There's so many people on the conservative side like this that actually just like have no fucking facts. They have no real opinion because they haven't looked into fucking anything. They've never heard Destiny break down they've never heard a left-wing person, someone on the Democratic side that's actually has a brain. You want to share libs of TikTok shit, but you've never confronted a Democrat that actually has some good facts and some good debate skills. This is what fucking kills me.
In front of a jury in New York State. You probably think that was really bad, but I mean, he went through the whole criminal court process and he got convicted.
And you think that was probably on the up and up, given that the judge had donated to the opposing party's campaign, and then
let's say even if that was true, what would the judge donating to the opposing party? How would that lead to a conviction in front of a jury?
If it were a different politician, then maybe we could have that conversation. It's Trump, dude. People's brains break on him.
You keep saying people's brains break, but what I'm telling you is Trump is just a historically terrible person. So of course people don't like him. That's not like only a conservative would see a guy who's surrounded by 10 people who all hate him and go, wow, all those 10 people sure are deranged. Like, how does that make sense in your mind?
What 10 people?
You're looking at Donald Trump, you're going, it's crazy that every single person around this guy hates him so much. Like, wow, people sure are deranged about Trump. Maybe Trump is just a loser. Maybe nobody likes him for a good reason.
What I'm telling you is
Hey, hold on. Easy there, Destiny, because you could apply that same logic to a certain group of people out in the Middle East with their own country, okay? Careful there. Careful, Destiny. You could apply that logic to other places. Why do the Jews keep getting kicked out of every country? Why do they need a homeland surrounded by all these other countries, and all the other countries fucking hate them? Is it their fault? Careful there.
I know people that I trust that know him. And I know people who just met him, spent a significant amount of time with him, and all of them have had the exact same thing to say. All of them.
No offense, but like his vice president isn't with him now. He didn't choose the same one, right? Very few people in his old cabinet will even endorse him. He attacked every single person in his administration. Barr quit after giving interviews because he was so tired of Trump lying about the DOJ. Every single major person that's worked with him.
Oh, really? Yeah, so I need to I'm actually technologically retarded. I don't know about I've never used Discord. People have invited me, given me links to, oh, here's the Discord for this and the Bubba Army Discord and da 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 da. I've never fucked with that. I'm so fucking busy. I can barely operate StreamYard here. But I've heard him say though before that he's not gonna. Maybe it's a like a stream on stream live debate that he was referring to. But I've for sure. I watch a lot of Destiny shit. I've heard him say that he won't. If he'll debate a conservative if they're have at least 100,000 subscribers, then he'll debate him. I've heard him say that that's a requirement. Maybe he's loosened up, or it's different if you're just in the Discord, whatever. I'll check that out though. You know what? Thanks. I appreciate that, Albert Jace. I'll fucking look into that. Maybe. I think I could have a good conversation with Destiny. We'll see here at the end. Look, when it gets to some of the, he's going to say the word on here anyway. So yeah, the vaccine stuff, you know, I feel like Destiny and I would have a very interesting conversation about that. That's all I'll say. And we'll get into more of the detail here when it comes up. But, oh, happy Labor Day. Yeah. I had to work today, bro. Adam Wiley. Thanks for coming and checking out the stream again. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, dude, I had to fucking work today. Yep. I was painting inside of a fucking house. I'll just call you after the show. Sick of what BS? I'm just kidding. I don't really think you're Holyoke Joe, but I don't know. Look, anyone just coming to the stream, I don't know if I'd call them a crazy stalker. If this person actually does have 10 fake accounts that are rotating in here, then yes, I have a crazy stalker. I don't know though, because this person just keeps me in a constant state of confusion, which is fun to a certain extent. All right, let's get back to the debate here.
Has not endorsed him and doesn't like him and has turned their back on him and is flipped on him in court. Like, who are all these people? That's great that you have personal friends. I might have good opinions about him, but like, this is a historically not liked person by even people in his closest inner circle. Like, none of these things are red flags.
No, not in comparison to what I see on the other side. What I see on the other side is way scarier. My honest opinion is I think that when Trump got elected and the people who really run the world recognized that they had a vulnerability at the president of the United States where they're like, man, we can't, even though we have historically always controlled the person who's in this office, now we recognize that we have a global vulnerability here. And I think that what their solution has been to slander and try to destroy Trump's life and make sure he never becomes president and simultaneously weaken America to a point where they don't have that vulnerability anymore.
Is there any single thing that you could see or be shown about Trump that would make you think, okay, maybe this guy's not a good guy?
Of course.
Like, what would you have to see? Like, what situation? We can do the Jan 6 stuff if you want. We can do foreign policy if you want. We can do any topic, any individual thing.
There's literally not a person on earth that has any kind of carte blanche with me. Like, I'm not. This is what I'm saying. You see a guy who gets killed as their side. Like, he likes Trump, so like their side. It's like such a weird. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to even respond to that. Like, I don't see people as like, oh, that person's a Democrat, and then like that's where like the conversation starts. It like stops. I find it actually really bizarre that people make decisions about whether or not they like people or want to have them in their life based on what like politician they like. Like, to me, it's as insane as if you week to week watch like Survivor with your neighbor and you're like, oh, I like Rick, and they're like,
okay,
oh, I like
Nancy. We're talking about presidents, okay?
No,
so
I know
we can do okay. On January 6th,
about
Donald Trump watched the Capitol burn for 3 hours, and he sat there and watched it and did nothing until the very, very, very end. He finally sent a tweet telling people to go home. You don't think that was an abdication of his duty? You don't think he was watching his own vice president come under attack? You don't think that he?
This is what I'm saying. There's no point in us talking about January 6th at all. Like, just
because you're uncomfortable, because you know that the facts.
Oh no, it's not because I'm uncomfortable.
Donald Trump
I'll say things, you'll go, that's not factually accurate. You'll say things, I'll be like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I can prove every single thing I say. There's like 50 million witnesses to every point that I say. All you have is fantasy on your end, right? You don't have any facts. Okay, what do you think is one thing we would disagree with that I could very easily, instantaneously prove that you would have no evidence for?
I've looked at the Jan 6 stuff. I have looked at, and I've seen the stuff that you talked about. The cops let him in. You've got like videos of the cops.
Wait, how? The first people. Wait, we can do that right there. How do you think the very first people got into the Capitol?
You mean like what was the first attack?
The first people that got into the Capitol building were people that broke in. It was Proud Boys that broke in with a riot shield. That's on video. You can see them breaking in. There are people that have been arrested. I think actually just got sentenced like yesterday. Breaking into the building. We can watch all of that on video.
I don't know why conservatives don't know this and have to fight on this point about the insurrection. I don't get it, you guys. This is why, like, I wanna hang. I truly wanna just be a Trump supporter. I do, but people just make it so hard. All these, I don't want to be one of these people that have no fucking clue about what happened on January 6th and just defend it on Trump's behalf because they have to, because they're all their friends are Trump supporters and they're a Trump supporter. Their whole audience are Trump supporters. It's like, it's embarrassing.
whether or not it's actual people or Antifa dressed up as Trumpers, and then Trumpers come on. The whole thing is like people are not
why you
challenged.
do you see what's happening? I can't tell if you're aware of your own like mind rot right now. You keep pivoting away to these generalized points. Okay, very specifically, the guy that broke in was not Antifa. There was no Antifa there. Multiple people have said that like these are Trump supporters. It's not Antifa. These are patriots on the day of. The guy that broke in was not Antifa. I can give you the name. I can show you the sentencing. It's not Antifa. None of these people are Antifa.
So you think that there is no reasonable scenario where this was a thing? Like, human beings are not challenging to manipulate. If you have a group of fired up people, it doesn't take a whole lot of people to incite them into doing things if that's what your goal is, in order to give you a reason to get rid of Trump and then take him off social media. They needed a reason to kick him off social media because even if he's not the president, he's still too
the people that
loud
made
for them.
plans to do this were the Plan Boys, and they did this over a month in advance. We have all the signal calls. We have all of the group text chats. We have the plans that they've made in advance. Like all of this.
The FBI couldn't under oath say that they did not have people in the crowd who were there specifically to instigate.
What does any of that have to do with what we? Why would the FBI ever publicly declare where they have an informant or not have an informant? And what is it? We don't need the FBI there. Donald Trump was inciting people. Alex Jones was inciting people. Nick Fuentes was inciting people.
Alex Jones was telling people, do not cross this barrier. They're tricking you into doing this. Don't do it. He was literally standing outside saying, don't go in, don't go in, don't go.
Okay. I do remember this footage he's referring to about Alex Jones, and Alex Jones did seem to tell people, he was warning people that it was a trap. I do remember seeing that one clip. I don't know if there was more clips where Alex actually told people to go inside. Nick Fuentes definitely fucking told people to go inside. He said something like, break in now. Show them we mean business. I definitely saw that video. Okay, but I think it is no, yeah, Adam Wiley. I agree. I do think that there were feds there for sure. I can have, though, if I were to debate Destiny on the insurrection, I would say that, and I've talked about this before on stream. I hope I'm not a broken record here. I bring it up once in a while. You know, this topic keeps coming up, but I do think it was an insurrection on January 6th, like to an extent. I would argue that it was. They did delay the certification, and but I don't think it was necessarily Trump's insurrection. I think, and again, this goes back to my point of, I hate that I have to just assign plausible deniability. I have to just keep giving all of this a slack here for Trump. But yeah, it's like Trump never, it's true, he never directly told anybody to do anything violent or fucked up. He never even indirectly said that. He we'll get into, they'll bring this up here more. They're going to talk about it more. We'll go over more of the details, but yeah, I do think, I know that there was or I do think that there were feds there. I don't know 100%, of course, but it was not an insurrection in your opinion. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing though. They fucking broke in, and there were for sure violent people there. And if I remember correctly, they did have messages and stuff from different groups that were talking about that they need to break in there and that it'll stop whatever from happening. It's like, I think there was something, I could be completely wrong about that, but regardless, people did break in. This is my point, is people did actually break in. There's some video of people getting let inside, but there were people that actually broke in and had violent intentions and whatever. I just don't, I don't think you have enough to nail Trump to, nail the coffin on Trump, so to speak, for this.
Oh, wait.
At one point after, when he realized that shit was fuck, yes, but Donald Trump was marching with all of them
going onto the grass.
And Destiny pretends Trump sat there and watched for however amount of time and never said anything. But I do think I tend to give some credibility or, some charitability to Trump for the tweet. He did put out a tweet about stay peaceful. The Capitol Police are, on they're on our side, or they're our friends, or something like that. That to me does show that Trump was, at least giving himself plausible deniability that he didn't want people to be violent.
Was there with a loudspeaker, marching, walking down to the Capitol with everybody.
Like, walking peacefully down to the Capitol is a lot different than telling people to go inside. And when people started crossing barriers to go onto the grass, he was telling them, don't do it. He saw exactly what was going to happen. Alex Jones is totally batshit, but he's right a lot.
The very first, do you acknowledge that the very first people that got into the Capitol building, the very first person in was a rioter breaking in, okay, with a
What does that have to do with Trump, though?
Hold on.
I'm not saying
I'm just because you made one claim about how the police let them in. The first
They
people,
did.
the first people into the Capitol building were people that broke into the Capitol.
What about all the people who got let out of jail when the videos?
What does that have to do with anything? Wait, what does that have to do with anything? You don't know all those cases. I don't know why you bring them up. The very first people into the building, you acknowledge the very first people in were people that broke through the windows. We can watch videos on if you want.
I don't acknowledge that because I don't know.
Okay, if you don't even know the first people in, how do you have any opinion about this at all?
If there's a pattern of things that very clearly lead to an assumption that there was something much dirtier going on, like cops letting people in, like video.
But you don't even know any of the, how can you have a pattern if you don't know any of the underlying facts?
I do know the facts. I've seen the videos of security guards walking these groups of guys around the thing. And then why is the shaman, why did he get let out of jail again?
Wasn't he convicted?
And then he got let out of jail when the full, record of video footage came out. They just straight up let him out. When does that happen in the American justice system? We're like, oh, this guy's
Hold on. I'm not aware of what you're talking about. The January 6th rioter was sentenced to 41 months in prison. I don't know what you mean about
let out.
That's kind of crazy. Destiny doesn't know that the fucking Q shaman got released after it wasn't because of Tucker, but after Tucker played all that the January 6th footage on Fox or wherever, the fucking Q shaman got released, and Destiny isn't aware of this. That's funny.
Tucker Carlson did the expose with all the full breadth of footage from the January 6th, and he was shown.
Tucker Carlson did not give you the full breadth of footage. Tucker Carlson gave you a heavily edited, like 2-minute splice of him being led to the Senate chambers once the building was already broken into.
Enough footage for him to just be let out of jail a week later.
He wasn't let out. He served his time.
Oh, well, so yeah, but no, I didn't think he served his time. I thought he got let out. That guy, the fucking Q shaman, actually did an interview with Bubba the Love Sponge, the show I fucking watch every day. And I think he got let out for. I don't think he served his. I could be remembering that wrong, but I don't think he served his time. I could even look this up, but we'll let it play for a minute.
No.
Okay.
No, the shaman got released. And anyway, it doesn't matter. January 6th is a single incident, and my contention is that it's not. Trump certainly did not have any intention of leading some kind of riot insurrection into the Capitol. Like, if someone goes to the Capitol building and they attack police, they should go to fucking jail. We agree on that. But you're connecting this, assuming that the Proud Boys did go in first. That is not on Trump as an insurrectionist, because he was leading a protest that he never gave even a word of instruction that sounded like, hey guys, let's get in there and go fuck shit up. Let's take this place over. It's like, it's ridiculous. Everything that he said was the exact opposite of that.
No, that's what Trump said for basically his entire speech. That's almost exactly what he said.
Okay, so I looked it up here. It says he was released early, so what for sure wasn't time served, but has been moved to residential reentry management facility in Phoenix, where he's originally from, and is expected to be released on May 25th. He received an early release in part because of his good behavior while in prison, says so-and-so who represents Chancellor of the plea sentencing. So I guess he got released on good behavior. Maybe, I mean, but I do know it had even when he did the Q shaman, when he did the interview on the Bubba the Love Sponge show, he fucking, let me just screen share real quick with this, just so we can read this together. When he was on Bubba's show, he even admitted there that Tucker had nothing to do with him getting released. It just, Tucker happened to play the footage a day or two before the guy was getting released. So all of these people credit, including this fucking guy who hasn't looked in, admittedly doesn't look up any facts. All these people think that it's Tucker Carlson's response, or it was Tucker's credit to getting this guy released. Let me see. Mr. Chansley can now move forward with his life. Da 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 da. Permitted is existing protocols, some of which are nuanced to appropriately permit the release of Mr. Chansley from prison. Chansley was known as QAnon Shaman, became a notorious face with the January 6th attack after storming into the Capitol, bare-chested in a fur headdress with horns. According to the Justice Department, he was among the first 30 rioters to breach the government building. Inside, he took pictures. It doesn't... says he served in. I'm trying to see. I guess they're just saying he on good behavior he got let out. So I guess Destiny didn't know he was out already, I think, but but he got let out, and I guess Destiny's right about that. I mean, you could say that he served his time. Technically, he got released for good behavior. So I mean, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'll screen share. I'll get back to fucking YouTube here. Hold on one second. All right.
What is having to get charged? That doesn't influence whether or not he said these things during his speech at the Ellipse.
So you think that the attorney general or whoever would have been responsible for prosecuting Trump at the end of the January 6th hearings, you think they just let him off the hook?
Trains.
If he said something that equated to...
It's not about letting somebody off the hook. Taking somebody to court and trying to charge them with a crime relating to inciting a riot, that's a really, really, really high standard, right? You're talking about the Brandenburg test here for a standard of whether or not you can criminally charge somebody. But whether or not somebody can be criminally charged because you don't know if you would like convict in front of a jury beyond a reasonable doubt doesn't mean a person didn't do a thing.
I didn't say didn't. Well, I don't think
you did. You just presented that as evidence. You're like, well, why didn't they charge him with a crime? Like Donald Trump has used so much rhetoric that was like very obviously like leading. I mean, everything that he said, the people walked from the speech to the Capitol building, and then the rioting continued, and people broke in. Like that's exactly what happened. Did this all just happen on mistake by accident? Like it just happened to be that people broke into the building and the certification got delayed.
He walked down to the Capitol. He never gave any instruction to go.
He said that one time, like 20 minutes into an hour-long speech. The rest of it was...
in the speech did he give instruction that said, let's go attack police officers and break into the Capitol?
He didn't say, let's go attack police officers and break into the Capitol, but he used speech saying that you have to get tougher, that if you have to fight, you're going to lose your country, that it's a corrupt election that was stolen, and that we can't allow these...
So the problem is Trump talks like this all the time. The fight like hell quote, I had no idea that was... I didn't remember, even though I probably heard it multiple times, that's a quote Trump uses. Trump says fight like hell all the time. He did it in the midterms before the 2020 election even happened. And, this is the thing is like, I would be comfortable if Trump even kind of hinted at breaking into the actual Capitol building. If he was like, we might not be able to stop this, stop the steal here, but if you guys went into the Capitol building, that might help convince them, just if a few people actually got inside the building, we might be able to stop this. I don't know. I can't tell you to do, even if he said something kind of on, in a gray area like that, I would say, okay, I get it. Like you're a fucking ex-president, or I still at that point president, and you're hinting at breaking into the Capitol building. That is so fucking stupid. Lock his ass up, whatever. Don't let him go on the fucking ballot. There's beyond Trump saying, Destiny acts like, oh well, the Trump supporters don't believe it was an insurrection because you don't have an actual quote of Trump saying a break into the Capitol. That's not, I would be satisfied with something less than that, but not the same language every other politician uses. That's not good enough. This is a point where I think it's maybe not necessarily Destiny like consciously being unfair, but this is part of one of the points where I'm like, okay, just the argument isn't convincing to me at all. It truly is strange that he uses any of Trump's rhetoric as justification of his labeling this insurrection. It is actually bizarre to me.
These people quoted, we allow this group of people to illegally take over our country because it's illegal when the votes are illegal, when they get the way they when the way they got there is illegal, when the states that vote are given false and fraudulent information. Like all of these things are about how the election has been stolen. They're stealing our country from us, that we have to fight like hell or we're going to lose something.
If I took the text of that speech and put it in Google, I bet you I could find identical verbiage out of the Democrats about the 2016 election 550,000 times. That is exactly what they said about 2016. And everybody acts like questioning election results is this brand new thing. I'm like, I remember when Gore and Bush did this thing with the hanging chat and all that. Like, it's not.
Okay, I don't know where you want to go. Yeah, you live in it's like talking to my mom. You live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy world.
Actually like talking to people in my family too.
That's okay. Yeah, you live in a fantasy world. Nothing that you're saying is true. Donald Trump gave a speech for an hour plus. He wanted there to be violence at the Capitol. That was the plan the entire time. We know that because of conversations that he had with private counsel beforehand, and we know because he sat and he watched the Capitol be rioted at for 3 hours and he did nothing about it. People were outside chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." He was evacuated from his office.
Do we have evidence of his conversations with private counsel that the violence was part of the plan? I mean, show me the evidence so I don't have to be a Trump voter anymore. Please, Destiny, please. I'm not being sarcastic. Please just show me the evidence so I can just give up politics. I'm ready. I don't want to vote for anybody this year. Just please give me a reason not to vote.
Office, and then he was evacuated to an underground bunker where Trump didn't even call him to check on him. Okay, and as he's down in his bunker, he's looking at his phone where Donald Trump is tweeting, "Mike Pence has failed us." Okay, he didn't do what needs to be done. Like the idea that this all just happened by accident, and the Democrats have done the same thing. No, they haven't. The Democrats have never led a mass protest insurrection at the Capitol building to circumvent the certification of the vote. That's never happened ever. And the idea you're going to string together some series of quotes from people and pretend that this is the same thing as Donald Trump giving an hour-and-a-half speech about how every single swing state election was stolen, you will never find anything that is the equivalent of that. Even bringing up Gore v. Bush as a joke, because despite the unpopularity of that Supreme Court case, they accepted the results of the election, just like how Hillary conceded the very night of the election to Donald Trump, as opposed to Donald Trump, who tried to claim victory the night before the votes had even been counted. It's not even close to the same thing. On every single factual level, you're completely delusional and off on the opposite on the end here.
I'll pose a counter vision of what happened on January 6th. So in 2020, the government mandated that everybody stay in their homes and not leave and do all the things. I can't talk about the shot ever again. But and simultaneously, we're turning on their television and watching BLM rioters burn the cities down every single day. That was going on the entire year of 2020. That's all people saw. They looked, they're burning down the cities, burning down the cities, burning down the cities, burning down the cities. And so in an election where they literally changed the fucking rules for the election, because everybody's locked down, so now we got to do the mail-in voting, which may or may not be more secure, regardless of whether or not the election results were legit. I have no ability to verify or not verify these things, but to act as if it's a bizarre conclusion to come to in a completely changed environment. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this less secure. We're doing this. It's because of this, and then people go to sleep the night of the election and Trump's up by a mile. Then the next morning they're all, oh, hey guys, now we counted all the mail-in voting and look at this, dude. Now Trump's losing. Like whether or not it's legit or not legit, to act as if it's a bizarre conclusion for them to have. So then
can I understand then? So you think that all the state election committees were rigged? All the state courts.
That's not what I said.
Wait,
I literally said I have no idea.
Hold on. When you say you have no idea, that's what you're saying, because you don't trust the states. You don't trust the state governors. Okay, you don't trust their. Hold on. Stop pivoting. I'm just asking you very clearly and very concisely. Do you think that every single state involved, we'll say at least the 7 swing states or whatever, all of these states lied, all of their courts lied, all of the federal courts that had to review them lied, and then the DOJ and the FBI, who are all, by the way, under Trump, all of these people lied as well. Every single person.
Is that what I said?
How can you not trust the outcome if you don't think that all these people lied? Because every single state and all of their state courts and then federal courts all reviewed a lot of this material.
I very clearly said that I have no ability to personally verify whether or not the votes are legit or not. What I'm talking about is the people marching on the Capitol, and then ultimately there being violence at the Capitol.
Hold on. Do you think that the results of
you ever see the movies like where they put people into a movie theater and then they put the glasses on and they feed them the images that's going to make them interpret the world the way it is?
Yeah,
it's like
Fox
if you
News,
put people in their home, if you put people in their home and show them nothing but people being angry and rioting downtown, this city, that city, and then they feel as though the election was stolen, and then now they march the Capitol, and then you have a handful of people that help with a little bit of incitement, and then they're going to explode. That's not Trump that did that. Like
Trump was literally inciting them the entire time. He called the people there. Why did he call them there to protest? What are they protesting on January 6th?
Why does anybody protest anything?
No, hold on. Wait, does everybody protest randomly? What were they protesting on January 6th?
They were protesting that they were going to certify the election results where
correct.
they.
And what was the goal? To stop the steal. What does that mean?
What they were protesting is the interpretation from them. I'm not there. I wasn't at January 6th, but they're interpreting it as.
So protesting the certification of the electoral votes or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're protesting that because I think anyone that had the idea that they could maybe stop the certification thought, I think, that there was a actual rational legal way to do it. If I'm being charitable, I'm sure there were some people in the January 6th crowd that were like, fuck it, let's break in there and stop them however we can, because we got to keep Trump in there because he's Q. Those people were probably in the crowd, but I think the majority of the people thought, okay, we're going to go down there. Trump thinks there's some way that Pence can maybe stop the certification, not so that we can the people don't just want Trump to be kept in office regardless of what the votes are. People wanted the certification stopped so that we could verify that all of the votes were legitimate votes and all legitimate votes were counted and not thrown out. This is, if you're being charitable at all, this is what people think. But Destiny wants to push this like, well, people were there and they were protesting the certification of the vote, so they used their violent mob to delay the certification. So therefore, it's an insurrection. He's doing a lot of what are they? He says like smuggling or he's smuggling a lot in by saying, "Oh, they were there to protest the certification, so clearly they wanted to end democracy and just put Trump, put Trump back in office.
This is
keep him there."
Not been convincing that this was actually investigated and that he did not have the election stolen.
Correct.
There's a, I mean,
so you're right. So they didn't believe the results of the election. So they went to protest on January 6th to change the results of the election.
Not to change the results of the election. They're protesting the
certification of the vote.
People protest.
That's an insurrection.
It's not.
It is. You're saying they don't agree with the results of the election because they think it was rigged, and they're going to go and protest it to quote unquote stop the steal.
Right. And so you're saying that this was a coordinated plan.
No one said anything about, well, it was coordinated because Donald Trump, they didn't go on January 5th, right? They didn't go on January 7th, right? They went there on January 6th to protest what you said.
People to protest, not to violently insurrect the government with no guns.
Well, he knew they had guns when he sent them to the Capitol because the vast majority of the people that showed up at the ellipse were outside of the secured area. The Secret Service told him there were people there with guns. That's one of the reasons why he wasn't allowed to go to the Capitol afterwards, even though he wanted to. And then he sent them to the Capitol to go and protest. What were they protesting? The certification of the vote. And what happens when they went there? They managed to delay the certification of the vote. What did Donald Trump do? He was calling senators saying, hey, maybe we should wait a little while longer to certify the vote. Everything plays into this one narrative of trying to stop the certification of the vote, stop the steal. That's what it was. It's like so obvious. Like every single part plays into this.
It's such a crazy interpretation.
Literally everything from the beginning. Hey guys, we're going to stop the steal. Everybody shows up on the ellipse at January 6th. Hey guys, just so you know, the election was stolen. You need to fight like hell. You're going to lose your country. This election was illegitimate. We need to hashtag stop the steal. People march to the Capitol. They protest and they riot and they have to stop the certification of the vote, which was the steal. And you're like, and then Donald Trump is sitting in his office for 187 minutes for 3 hours, not calling the National Guard or doing anything, watching them stop the steal. And you're like, bro, how could you possibly have this interpretation of events? What?
Because you're making one gigantic leap that's not even defensible in any kind of reasonable way.
What's the leap?
You're saying, like all the way up to, yes, they are there to protest. They are there because of this. Then you leap to Donald Trump organized them with the intention of them rioting. That's just not accurate. And then there's not even like a line of dialogue that you could say that would even moderately hold up. The January 6th committee, literally, they went through every single thing. They tried everything they could to nail him to the wall. And even they couldn't come up with anything realistic about him inciting violence.
You can literally go through all of Trump's tweets before the day of. On January 5th, he tweets, I hope the Democrats, and even more importantly, the weak and ineffective rhino section of the Republican Party are looking at the thousands of people pouring into DC. They won't stand for a landslide election victory to be stolen. What does that mean?
Right. He's saying that there's a lot of support for more investigation into whether or not.
Yeah, so this is where Destiny is doing a lot of interpretation on Trump's tweets. This tweet can easily be interpreted as, well, the media and everyone is painting Trump as a complete lunatic for saying that the election was stolen. Everybody in the fucking media and the government, they're all being like, oh no, you're actually insane that you think the election was stolen. Who the fuck thinks the election's stolen? And Trump's like, well, bitch, there's thousands of people marching in DC, and all of these people, in theory, all of these people agree with me. So I guess I'm not just some fucking random nutcase. I'm not a lone fucking retard. There's all of these people that they are seeing the same shit on social media. And, you know, we can debate about the fucking Fulton County, Georgia shit, but there's plenty of other shit that people are seeing on social media. So they think that the election was stolen, or at the very least, they think that the votes need to be verified, and we need to make sure that we had a completely fair election. This is why these people are showing up. When Destiny looks at that tweet, he is being the least charitable as possible because he's building a case. And so he goes, oh, well, Trump is saying all of these thousands of people are coming to DC, so clearly that's a threat. It's like everything's up for interpretation. And these tweets don't do shit for Destiny's case, in my opinion. We're looking for I want some good tweets. For real, when I first heard that they were saying it was an insurrection and Trump was going to, get charged and or kept from being on the ballot, I was like, fuck, let me look up what Trump said. And I remember looking up the first article where it said his quotes from January 6th and stuff on Twitter. And I was like, where is the incitement? Where is it? I can't believe that people are this fucking, they have their minds made up that he's an insurrectionist and tried to actually bring on an insurrection, have the Capitol building stormed so that they could overthrow the election. I was like, surely they have some real quotes here where at least Trump said, we need a march over there, and you have to get inside the building because that's where it's happening in there. And if you break into there, we might be able to stop it. I don't know, though. You know, we don't even have anything near that.
Not he actually lost the election.
On January 6th, the rioters are there to investigate?
He didn't say rioters. He's the protesters are there because they're unhappy that the election is being certified when they feel that the election was stolen.
Correct. They're there to stop the certification of the election.
People coming into DC. This is a representation of a very large percentage of the population who agree with them. You guys should pay attention because, you know, but like none of that.
January 4th, Donald Trump tweets out, how can you certify an election when the numbers being certified are verifiably wrong? You will see the real numbers tonight during my speech, but especially on January 6th. Hashtag March for Trump. Hashtag Stop the Steal. Hashtag Do Not Certify.
Hashtag break in. Where's that hashtag? Hashtag get inside the Capitol. Hashtag take a shit on Pelosi's desk. Where is it? Just give me one. Give me something. Give me something so I can get off the Trump train. I need a good reason, though.
What about that sounds
I'm
like?
not really on the, you know what I'm saying. I'm not on any fucking train, okay? I'm walking. That's what I'm doing right now.
Hey guys, let's go incite violence and raid the Capitol.
How can you stop the certification of the vote? How did they stop the certification? They did it by...
Let me see the chat. Sorry, I got to go back and forth. Just for anybody that doesn't know, with StreamYard, the chat's not on the same page. I got to go back and forth here. Albert Jace. Well, I agree on standalone review. I'm not sure exactly what part you're agreeing with because I've been ranting for a minute here, but I think Destiny has reached these conclusions because he has looked at tweets for the month leading up to this, the actions Trump took on the day, etc. No, I mean, I get it. I get that's what I'm talking about. I just, you know, so with some of Trump's quotes, you're referring to a single tweet, not proving intent. Yeah, like, look, dude, I don't like any of this shit. I don't like that that I need to defend Trump. Well, not that I need to, but I don't like that Trump has plausible deniability with shit. You couldn't have just, if we couldn't stop it from getting stolen, if you couldn't just tell Pence to delay the certification just so that we can actually look into shit properly and run things through the courts properly according to, how Trump I guess whatever would satisfy the standards. That's part of the thing is I think our voting system is not really made it's not designed to be questioned and people to try to reverse it within the short amount of time between voting and the person going into office. That's part of the issue, I think. But regardless, yeah, I hate that way. If people truly do have concerns like this, it's like a fucking freight train going down the tracks. That to slow it down, to be able to actually analyze what the fuck happened and address people's concerns, it just seems impossible to be able to do. Wait, hold on a second. What were you? But plausible deniability. Yeah, I don't like the fact that Trump speaks in a way that it leaves so much up to interpretation. I don't like the fact that he sat back and watched. Once he saw anybody getting into the Capitol, he should have, I wish he would have tweeted out, "You fucking idiots, get out of there. You fucking dumb pieces of shit. You're making me look like a fucking dumbass by breaking into the fucking Capitol like a bunch of fucking dumbasses. Get out of there." I wish he would have tweeted that. I do. But just because he didn't, it's hard for me to find him guilty of insurrection just because he didn't send the exact tweet that I wanted him to send out. But then he's also behind the scenes trying to do, whatever, speaking to senators and shit when he could have been telling people to go home. And then on top of that, the people that fucking got arrested and just kind of walked in there Why the fuck didn't he pardon these people? This is part of what pisses me off too. Is like he could have fucking pardoned all those people sat in fucking jail. There's still people sitting in jail that, you know, barely stepped foot into the place. Some fucking old grandma. He couldn't, all of these people he dragged down to DC and he couldn't fucking do anything. That's part of my reasoning with whatever, my distaste, my current distaste for Trump. I'm telling you, lefties, get in here. You can flip me, okay? There's a chance.
Rioting and breaking into the Capitol, right?
Right. But so your contention is that because Trump said stop the certification, that means that he's like dog whistling to the group to go and invade the Capitol. It's a ludicrous conclusion.
That's exactly what they did. They literally did this, and he literally sat by and watched it.
But you're saying that he told them to do it or incite.
Yeah, Adam Wiley. No, it is very difficult to analyze January 6th. And I think some of Destiny's concerns are completely fair. I truly do. And that's what I'm saying. I don't like some of the shit Trump did. I don't think he has quite enough of a case to nail Trump on the insurrection thing. That's all, that's kind of where I am. But Destiny makes some great points, and it's just there's so much to fucking look at. It's just so difficult.
I did it directly.
Yeah, that's what he wants. Yes, of course. He literally wants it to happen. If he didn't want it to happen, why is it that as soon as Trump saw this happening, why wouldn't he have made a call for people to go home? Or why wouldn't he have deployed the National Guard?
He did.
No, he didn't. It took him 3 hours.
I don't know the exact timeline.
I do. It was 187 minutes.
To go home peacefully.
Yeah, yes. After 3 hours of his entire family and everybody else in the Republican establishment and the right-wing media establishment begging him, please, and his son even sending him, please send these people home.
Nonetheless, the argument that he incited them and told them to go in any way, verbally or non-verbally, is just not there.
January 2nd, he tweets out, an attempt to steal a landslide election win. Can't let it happen. How do you stop them from stealing?
How is that telling people to go violently raid the Capitol?
On January 1st, retweeting, the cavalry is coming, Mr. President. Hashtag March for Trump. Hashtag stop the steal. The slogan is be there, we'll be wild. January 6th. What are they doing?
He's promoting a protest.
For the certification of the vote.
Right.
January 1st, the big protest rally in Washington, D.C. will take place at 11 a.m. on January 6th. Location details to follow. Stop the steal. How are they going to stop this? How do you stop the certification of the vote? How do you do that? You think just protesting outside is going to stop certifying it?
Okay, like, do you think that, well, I guess...
Again, if we're being really charitable to Trump, we'll say, okay, well, he's organizing this protest to show that at least some portion of the country they're not confident that the election was fair and square. I think it takes a lot of interpreting to make that tweet into a call for violence. It just seems like a lot.
It's in this case a bad example, but I would have said, do you think that just because people are upset about some incidents with police, that if they say defund the police, that they were actually expecting for the cities to defund the police? I'm saying, like, people protest things they're unhappy about.
Wait, hold on. Yes, there were people that protested to defund the police, and they want them to defund the police. Yeah, it was stupid.
What's your name? Perkins Smirch. It's not difficult to analyze January 6th. Majority of it is filmed. Well, dude, I'm sitting here listening to both sides, and both sides are they're looking at the same shit and interpreting it differently. Now, I will say the fucking Jesse on Fire guy definitely seems less informed about any of this shit. I've watched Destiny talk about insurrection shit 100 fucking times, and again, I'm not happy with Trump in a lot of ways. And if there was some good, solid evidence that Trump incited violence or incited people to even just break into the Capitol building, I would 100% be on Destiny's side about this. But when he's using as evidence for inciting violence, he brings up a tweet that says, protests will be 11 o'clock on January 6th. Hashtag stop the steal. That's what we're using as evidence of an incitement of violence. That is about as weak evidence as you can fucking get. This is the thing, is Destiny's take on this requires putting all of these things together, all of these different, areas of evidence where the behind the scenes scheme with Trump, the fact that he didn't tweet at whatever time Destiny thinks he should have tweeted at. It's like if Trump told people to go home 10 minutes after they broke in, Destiny would say, why didn't he send the tweet 5 minutes before they broke. Ashley Abbott got shot within that 10 minutes. That's Trump's fault. It's like, there's a lot of interpreting going on each side. How do you do what? Hopes and prayers. What are you asking? How do I do what?
But yeah, there were people that, do you think the people that wanted them to protest, to defund the police, you don't think those people actually wanted the police defunded?
No, what I'm saying is you're attributing a methodology and an action plan for stop the steal or stop certification, which includes violence. It's not there. It's just not there.
But it literally is. Donald Trump had fake elector slates made. He was trying to pressure Pence to accept these fake electors from these states, and violence was part of the way to pressure people in Congress to not certify the vote or to pressure Pence to.
Do you think, this is a little bit off topic, do you think that Donald Trump...
Well, how is violence? Can someone explain how is violence, like, is Pence right outside the Capitol building certifying the vote? Like that he thinks when he certifies it, they're actually going to grab him. The whole crowd is going to grab him and rip him limb from limb. Like, what is the threat? We need a clear threat of violence. And I will be right there with you protesting, saying that Trump shouldn't be allowed on the ballot because he's that much of a scumbag. He actually told people to go in and violently stop, an official, whatever the fuck, government proceedings.
Trump, like, in your opinion, I'm not talking about the actual vote counting, any of that. Do you think that Donald Trump really believed that the election was stolen?
Absolutely
or that
not. He was lying
so
the whole time.
The whole thing he's lying?
Absolutely. Obviously.
Yeah,
so
I completely disagree.
Of course you do. But every single person around him that's credible, the entirety of all of his White House legal counsel, vice president's legal counsel, his Department of Justice.
This is the next point where Destiny loses me and loses every other Trump supporter that might give him a charitable interpretation, or you could flip them on this. All of Trump's, I don't say there's so much this, and I've had these conversations with people online on Twitter debating this. They go, well, all of these people told Trump it wasn't stolen. You have his family and the media and every three-letter agency that he said is corrupt and part of the deep state. All of those people told him it wasn't stolen. So obviously Trump knows it wasn't stolen. It's like Trump called them the deep state. He's had a great distrust for the media and everyone in the fucking government. And you think it's proof because those people who he told everyone else not to trust, those people told him it wasn't stolen. So now he knows it wasn't stolen. And then when I say that to other people, they go, oh, well, if Trump didn't believe them, then he's just delusional. This is a real conversation I've had, by the way, with someone on Twitter. It's like, okay, well, delusional and lying about the election being stolen. Now you've shifted the goalpost that, oh, now I only have to prove that he's delusional. No, we were talking about that you think Trump was lying, that Trump didn't believe the election was stolen because the FBI and DOJ told him. That's like, this is where we go into interpretation. That is not good evidence, for sure not proof that Trump thought it wasn't stolen. So this is another place where Destiny, I feel like, has extremely weak evidence, extremely weak. I mean, people have different levels of trust in three-letter agencies and their own family members. This doesn't prove that Trump knew fucking anything.
Everybody was telling him, these are bullshit claims. None of this is real. We cannot find evidence of any of these things. And Donald Trump went outside the White House to find a cackle pot of crazy lawyers like Powell and Giuliani and Eastman to feed him these crazy conspiracies to try to make him.
Giuliani's a cackle pot lawyer as of when, though, prior to that?
Okay, so Trump has attorneys that are saying it was stolen. So I guess that discredits everything you just said, Destiny, because he does have people telling him it was stolen. So now he doesn't think it's stolen. See where this is like shitty evidence? These people, that just buy right into this. You see where this is like fucking retarded to use as evidence to say that someone told Trump it wasn't stolen. So it wasn't, he knows it wasn't stolen. You see where that's complete fucking bullshit?
that.
Everything that I see, he might have been in New York. I don't know. I haven't gone over his cases for that, but watching Giuliani's conduct during this stuff, yeah, he was an insane crazy person, of course.
See, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, Albert Jace, you can keep listing all these I don't see what the point of listing all of these people are, because you can list people that did say it was stolen. You name all of these people, and then you've got thousands upon thousands of supporters saying, no, Trump, you can't give up on this, because we're all seeing the same shit on social media, that the people that worked at the ballot offices, that for the people counting, they were supposed to monitor the people counting the ballots, and how the mail-in ballots were in sequential order, which is impossible if they're mail-in ballots, because they're mailed out in sequential order, so you can't get them all back in sequential order. You know, that's statistically impossible to have. We're all seeing the same shit. So, you know, you can list as many people. All these are official councils and appointees, though. Yeah, but dude, this doesn't mean that he believes them. He has other people telling him it was stolen, and Trump is, again, I don't know that Trump really thought it was stolen. I'm just saying this is not enough evidence for what mens rea, as Destiny likes to say. It's like, this doesn't prove that he actually believed them. If there was even, I would be happy to just even see an email or a private message for something. It's hard to believe that there isn't one message or something that's came out that somebody's leaked where Trump says to somebody else, this, again, what I'm about to say won't even be proof, but I would be okay with this as evidence if Trump actually said to somebody, well, well, I don't think it was really stolen, but you know what? My supporters do, so I'm going to do this, so that I'm going to fight the certification of the election because a bunch of my supporters think it was stolen. I don't, but I can't let them down. That would even be enough for me. And it's really surprising that nothing like that has even come out. Those other people were Rudy Giuliani, and he isn't trustworthy. Well, I guess Trump disagreed with you since he brought him on as his attorney. So yeah, there you go. Trump believed Rudy Giuliani. So that's enough to say that this is the thing. People can list however many people from whichever side, and neither proves what or is good, solid evidence. I know there's the difference, but none of it is. I could find 100 people from whatever agencies telling Trump that it was actually stolen. I wouldn't say that that's proof or good, solid evidence that he actually thought it was stolen. It just doesn't work. People, whoever the fuck, can tell you whatever. And especially when Trump has said all of these fucking people are deep state.
If our base assumptions about what a person's motivations are in opposite ends, that's what I'm saying. It's pointless to even discuss the facts, because like
no, it's not. No, you don't have any of the facts. That's the issue. You have a feeling that you've come that this can't possibly be true. I've gone through all of these facts. We can go through Giuliani's behavior in any of these cases. We can go through any of the facts, but you don't want it. You don't have any of those in your head. You just have an impression that Trump has given you, and because Trump has given you this impression, you're like, well, it can't possibly be the case that these guys are crazy. We
are trying to drill into a single fact that you are attributing as truth, and that is that Trump incited violence. And you've gone through all of these things, and as a fact, he 100% did not incite violence, and we've seen that over the last 10 minutes. There's nothing there.
Donald Trump wanted to stop the certification.
I agree with Destiny that this guy completely came to this unprepared, but unfortunately, he's right now, as of sitting here and listening to all of this evidence that Destiny's presenting. And it's like, okay, well, where's a good solid quote that we can just fucking get the nails out and put this guy on the fucking cross? Where's the good quotes? Just give me one.
Of the vote. Do you agree with that? Okay. He invited tens of thousands of people to the Capitol on the 6th. I bet
he wished it was a million.
Sure.
Explain how I'm lost. Explain how I'm lost. It's like, LOL. 9 out of 10 agencies say the election was legit, but we will only believe the one guy that's nuts. So what's your point? What's your point? Trump, I'm not saying that... I'm not even making an argument of the validity of a belief or not belief in any of those agencies. My point is he has different people telling him different things. I don't see anybody can fucking tell him anything, and that doesn't mean he believes it. This is just so fucking, I don't know, dude. This is weak as fuck as an argument. Again, I already said I would be happy with any loose not loose I don't know how to explain it. This is just like it this takes so much. You said it's not hard to analyze perks and merch or whatever. Bro, there's so much interpreting going on. You guys literally have no quotes from Trump where he incites any kind of violence or tells anyone to do anything bad. You have nothing. You guys have nothing. And then we have a quote where Trump directly says for people to stay peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Somehow you guys spin all of this into, oh yeah, he's dog whistling to have someone go in and take a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk because he said stop the steal. It's just pathetic. I'm sorry. You say I'm lost, bro. You guys are using really pathetic standards for evidence. Someone told Trump it wasn't stolen, so he obviously knew it wasn't stolen. I just, come on, bring something better. Don't waste my time.
On the 6th, do we agree with that?
Sure.
He said statements like, you need to fight like hell or you're going to lose your country. Do we agree with
Like
that?
every single politician has said during a campaign.
That's fine. That's great. That's great. Do you agree with that? Did he said that?
Yeah.
Okay. You agree that he watched the Capitol being broken into and he sat in his room drinking Diet Coke and did nothing about it. Do you agree with that?
I have no idea what he was doing. I know that he tweeted out that they need to peacefully leave.
Okay, so you conveniently, the only part you don't know is the timeline where he sits for 3 hours in his room doing nothing to stop the violence. You're only aware of the final tweet that he made at the end of the day. It was 4:17 p.m. is when he finally told people to go home.
Again, do you guys think it's an accident that Destiny is leaving out the other tweet? Do you guys really think that that's just a happy accident that every time I've heard Destiny talk about this, he neglects to mention the tweet where Trump said to stay peaceful, that the Capitol Police are our friends? You think that that's an accident, right? You guys that are in my chat defending Destiny. And look, I love Destiny. I disagree with him here. But I'm saying, yeah, do you think he just forgot about that tweet or didn't know about it, right? That's probably true. He has it written there in all of his notes. He just forgets to mention it.
I don't know what time the riot happened. I don't know any of that. All I know is
Don't you think that's important?
Never
Let's say this.
violence.
What if it was 3 hours? What if he did sit in a room watching TV for 3 hours and didn't do anything while he watched the Capitol being broken into? Would that be evidence of the intent of him wanting violence there if he didn't do anything to stop it?
No.
Okay, what would you need to see to think that?
So wait, Destiny, was he sitting there for 3 hours doing nothing, watching the TV and sipping Coke? Or was he calling all these senators and congressmen and doing all of that shit? You think like he's at the same time he's doing nothing, but he's also frantically calling all of these fucking lawmakers or the fucking senators and whether calling the fucking the guys at Georgia, I need however many votes. He's making all of these calls, but he's just sitting there watching it too.
He wanted violence to be there, besides a direct confession? Or is that literally the only thing that would satisfy you? What would you need to see to think like,
that even could be moderately interpreted as him trying to incite violence? It's not.
Yes, give us something. Give us something, Destiny. People in my chat, I'm sure you guys have some good quotes, right? Go find a good quote where Trump actually incited violence. I will be so charitable to it. Just something, like I said, even if Trump said sarcastically, look, you guys, if you broke in there, I wouldn't be able to stop you, but that, it might stop the certification, and then I could maybe stay as president. I can't tell you to go into the building, but do what you guys want. Even that, I would give it to you. We don't even have that. As sloppy as Trump talks off of the cuff, just like willy-nilly saying whatever comes into his head, we don't even have that.
There.
Okay, what about Giuliani? What about at the ellipse beforehand? Well, first, we're way past that. But at the ellipse beforehand, Rudy Giuliani literally says, let's have trial by combat. The election was stolen. We're going to fight to the very end to make sure this doesn't happen. Right before Trump comes on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking. Albert Jace. Destiny isn't bringing up the tweet where he mentions to be peaceful and not fight with the Capitol Police. He's neglecting that tweet, and he's purposely leaving that out. Okay, I was sarcastically saying he forgot that. He's obviously purposely leaving out that tweet because that does a little work against his case that he's building here.
On
trial by I don't what the fuck does that even mean? Trial by combat is generally talking about one guy versus one guy, and they fight to the death in like Game of Thrones. I have no idea what the fuck that even means.
So unless Donald Trump says, I want you to go to the Capitol and violently break into the building, then nothing else counts as.
I mean, he doesn't need to necessarily say it like that, but he has to he has to say something that can be interpreted reasonably that his intention was for them to be violent. There is no upside in him getting
quote, we have overwhelming pride in this great country and we have it deep in our souls. Together we are determined to defend and preserve the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But I said something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Kind of happened, and we fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. We're going to the Capitol, and we're going to try and give the Democrats are hopeless. They never vote for anything, not even one vote. But we're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them kind of pride and loudness they need to take back our country. So let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue.
That's like.
So this. Guys, this is part of the problem, that this I guess level of charged political speech is permitted and should be permitted on all sides. This is the problem where if Trump gets convicted of insurrection, it kind of makes it to where like it's almost as if no political speech is okay. This is like borderline any political speech you've ever heard in your fucking life. And again, first time I ever looked up to try to verify that Trump said fight like hell, when I looked this up myself, first thing I see is Trump midterm speech where he says fight like hell. So why didn't all the people during the midterms, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't storm the Capitol because Trump said fight like hell in the midterm elections. Wow, I'm so surprised, right? This is standard political speech, especially for Trump. This is standard political speech. Let me go back to the chat here. Fucking Biden ran this country right back down to where the deep state could get its grimy hands back on our throats. No, that's probably true. I don't know, though. Read my other messages. What he means doing nothing to stop the riot and his supporters. Was there something before that I missed? I thought I responded to that. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Nancy Pelosi feels pretty guilty about doing nothing. But no, that's what I said. Destiny is saying he waited so long to tweet for them to go home, but Trump did tweet for them to remain peaceful and stop fighting with the Capitol Police. So that's what I'm saying. He leaves this tweet out because that is evidence that Trump didn't want any violence happening. This is more evidence that Trump did not want violence, and Destiny just happily ignores it.
Actually crystal clear that what his intention was for them to march down there and be loud. Not, and he's saying, give the Republicans like that actually is the exact opposite of inciting violence, because that does state his intention, and that was for them to march down to the Capitol and let their voices be heard, not break in and go fucking, zip tie people or whatever this ridiculous narrative was. Now you said that they knew that they had guns. How, like, what number are we talking? Are we talking like 2 people that had a concealed carry permit? Because you definitely can't carry guns in Washington.
Thousands and thousands of people.
Thousands of people had guns.
I don't know if they didn't arrest every single person, but when Donald Trump gave his speech in front of the Ellipse, I think it was like 30,000, went through the magnetometers, and there were like tens of thousands of more outside. The majority of his crowd was outside of the secure area, and the Secret Service reported the reason why is because a lot of people saw that they had a scanner, so they didn't want to come through, and they'd seen some people in the crowd with weapons before they could see it. They didn't arrest and go and take everything. But Donald Trump knew there were people with weapons in the crowd before he sent everybody off to the Capitol to go marching, and that's why he wanted to go. But then they told him, sorry, we can't do like an off-schedule trip to the Capitol because we can't guarantee your safety. But yeah, he knew it. Yeah.
So you don't like assumptions in some cases, but in this case, because they didn't go into this area, we're just assuming it's because the vast majority of them were carrying firearms.
They didn't go through why else would you go to Washington, D.C. to see Trump speak and then not go into the official area to watch him speak?
There's not enough room.
There was plenty of room. They just didn't want to go through the security scanners.
I can't verify that one way or the other, but that's certainly not evidence that there was a bunch of armed people. Washington, D.C.
The Secret Service saw armed people. They saw armed people.
You've got a piece behind, shotgun behind you, gun rights. Like in Texas, I can carry concealed without a license. I have a license in other states. Washington, D.C., you can't carry. Like, you can't just be carrying a firearm.
I mean, if it's concealed, nobody can see it. That's the whole point of it.
Okay, so again, we're making assumptions that there were a bunch of criminals that were illegally carrying firearms.
I didn't say it was criminals, but I'm just saying that like Donald Trump knew there were weapons in the crowd. The Secret Service told him. He said he didn't care. He asked them to take down the magnetometers. They're here for me. They're not going to.
Well, technically, he's saying criminals because it's against the law to carry in D.C. That's what he means by criminals.
For me, it's fine. Donald Trump didn't care. He knew that there were people in the crowd with weapons. He knew this.
Well, I can't verify that, but either way, if the people had weapons, none of them used them. So they clearly, if they were carrying, were their personal protection the way that I carry every time I go anywhere here, just in case. Like, they didn't use them. No one used any guns except for the cop that shot the lady, which I don't have I mean, listen, that's unfortunate, obviously, but like, that guy was probably scared shitless. He's got a mob of people coming for. I understand why he fired completely.
Well, I mean, he fired because she was trying to crawl into a secured area where they were pointing guns at, saying, "Don't come in here."
With a mob of.
I agree. The fucking Trump supporters that went in there are completely retarded for thinking that they weren't going to get shot, breaking into some window. A guy is actually pointing a gun at you, and you just go ahead and start to put your foot through. Like, should have just shot her twice.
Of people behind her that might beat the guy to death. It's not a bad shoot in my opinion. It's tragic, but nonetheless.
So what would you need to see? What kind of behavior would you need to see from Trump to think that he probably wanted violence to happen on January 6th?
Anything that indicated that at all.
Like, give me an example of something that he could say or do.
I can't just make something up.
I already gave examples, guys. Look, I would have taken just about anything, as long as it's like you could actually and reasonably interpret that he's requesting violence from these people. You can't just use part of his speech that is basically copy and pasted from every other fucking political speech in history and say that that is a dog whistle to go take a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk. I'm sorry.
Because it didn't happen. So like, I don't know. I'm not that creative. Like, I would need someone to like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. If Trump wanted there to be violence, in my opinion, the easiest way to do that is to communicate with the leaders of these groups of people who are his supporters that might be willing to get violent. And you have someone contact them and let them know, look, if these guys don't, if these guys are going to go forward with the certification, then let's go shit up. Someone has to give instruction to a group of people. Like, can we agree that the Proud Boys, if given direction to go get violent, probably would have?
I mean, unfortunately, we can't touch a lot of that communication, but Roger Stone was in direct communication with people like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Roger Stone was literally in pictures with them, working his personal security, and he called them and talked to them, and Donald Trump had conversations with him on January 5th and January 6th. I mean, and they had weapons stashed outside the Capitol. There were a lot of arrests about it related to the Oath Keepers, and the Proud Boys were the people that initially broke in.
And so if they had the conversations, and how come no one on the Trump side got investigated or indicted for inciting if they gave specific instructions over it?
Well, right now, Donald Trump, firstly, Donald Trump has given a blanket pardon basically to everybody associated with him, including Roger Stone. Number one. Number two, because Donald Trump got immunity from the Supreme Court, it's really hard to probe a lot of this activity. Now, who knows if any of the original Jack Smith indictment will even make it to court. But he got
immunity like 5 minutes ago, and the January 6th happened, what, four years ago?
Yeah, but the immunity applies to the same case. That's what.
Right, but I'm saying you don't think that they had time to investigate it? Like the January 6th committee, you don't think that they had time to investigate whether or not anybody on Trump's team gave it strict instructions to anybody to incite? Or
you can incite executive privilege. You don't ever have to testify about conversations with the president. That's the whole point of executive privilege. And now because of the immunity, now even more of the conversations are protected.
You think the leader of the Proud Boys who got 22 years wouldn't have given up the Trump campaign if he had gotten direction to get violent?
Enrique Tarrio? I don't even know if he was in direct conversations with anybody with Trump himself. It might have just been through Roger Stone, and who knows what he testified to.
Why wouldn't he? So he wouldn't have given up Roger Stone?
Maybe he did. But Roger Stone was pardoned by Trump. I don't know what the rules are for like charging somebody if you've already been pardoned. So,
but we're speculating now.
Do you agree that it's just like this is the most obvious thing in the world? So it feels like very weird to like pretend that this is a real conversation. Do you agree?
He did not.
Do you agree? Are you familiar with like the elector plot?
The what?
That when you vote for president, you vote for a slate of electors who vote for president for that state, right?
Yeah, I know this. Yeah, I know that works. Yeah.
Donald Trump had 7 different fake slates made up in every swing state. He had fake slates set from there to the electoral college, and the goal was to have Mike Pence pick the fake electors. That was like the plan on January 6th. That's why he kept saying he can send it back to the states. That's why he kept saying Mike Pence can come through for us. Like, we believe in Pence. Like, Pence has to come through for us. Pence has to be strong. What he wanted Mike Pence to do was to choose the fake electors. That was the whole point of it.
I don't know anything about that, and I can't take anything as assuming that it's true, because the one thing that we have been talking about extensively, I can't see any reasonable conclusion that your conclusion is accurate.
Okay. Let's say that theoretically that was true. Do you think that would be bad? Can we say at least that?
If Trump made fake.
Yes, I agree here. This I can 100% agree that the false slate of electors thing it's not a good look. Again, though, I don't see where this ties into the violence and the insurrection. As a Democrat, I think everything is great. Yeah, me too, fat pig. No, I agree on this point with Destiny that it's the false slate of electors scheme was sketchy at best, and you'd hope it's just some bad interpretation of what they thought was a legal way to stop the certification. But it seems, of course, and I'm trying to be fair here, it seems that went a little further than just stopping the steal. that the false slate of electors scheme seemed to go a little further as to actually have Trump elected and not so much to verify that the election was fair. Okay. This I agree with Destiny on.
Slates and ask somebody to fraudulently just pick them. Yeah, of course that would be bad.
Okay. That was when he said Mike Pence can come through for us. What do you think he was talking about?
I don't know. You said fight like hell meant that they should raid the Capitol.
No, wait. When he was asking Mike Pence can do what we need to do. What do you think he's talking about there?
What I'm saying is, in our conversation thus far, when you're attributing meaning to things that people don't say directly, I disagree with your interpretation. So I have no idea what he's talking about.
Perks and merch, are you happy? Are you happy I agree with Destiny on something? You better be yucking it up in my chat. You better be laughing. Uh-huh. I don't like that false slate of electors. I don't like it. Okay? Not my slate of electors.
With Mike Pence.
No clue. We just can't possibly know. Like, you know that, so for those fake slates, you know that like none of this is contested, right? Like this is all in open court. Like people have been.
I'm not going to pretend like I know about the story because I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
This is a bad point to know nothing about. I gotta tell you, for this debate, this isn't one of the subjects that you want to know nothing about.
You can literally see. I mean, I can send you like there's like the fake slates have been filled out. All of that information is publicly viewable. That Trump's campaign, that Eastman Chesbrough and people working for Trump Giuliani were trying to organize, or they successfully organized fake electors in 7 different states to get them sent to Congress. That was the whole point of January 6th to stop this deal, was to get Pence to choose the fake electors or to just reject all the votes because there's competing elector slates.
I know nothing about that story at all.
Okay, well, let's say theoretically, let's say that was true, and he wanted Pence to choose the fake elector slates, and then he also sent a huge riot down to the Capitol to try to encourage Pence to do the right thing. Does it seem more likely that violence might have been like a part of the strategy to pressure the politicians there into choosing the fake elector slates?
I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, a dragon could have come.
I believe me, guys, I get what Destiny's saying. I get it. I think that it's doing a lot of work to just say, well, Trump did these things. He tried to, get Pence to sign off on the false slate of electors or to throw them all out because there were 2 slates of electors. And but just because there was a crowd there of people that supported Trump, that this is a threat of violence. I'm sorry. This is what I'm saying is like, how can I, it's difficult for me to fairly analyze this and be like, oh yeah, for sure. Okay. So if a crowd of angry people are there, that's enough to say that whatever Trump does after, if Trump asks some politician to do something, then it's he's telling them to do it under threat of violence because Trump has supporters there. Again, this is like any other political speech. If you have a big fucking rally of people there and you say, oh, such and such politician is fucking us over, so whatever, we got to fight like hell. That it's doing so much work to interpret that as go hang Mike Pence. It's like, it's doing a lot.
Come and landed on the Capitol if we're just talking about like make-believe hypotheticals.
Okay. Well, every single thing I just said is beyond.
Perks and merch. Thank you. A+. Yes. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Was this guy involved in January 6th strategy? Who? Perks and merch? Or you're talking about Jesse on fire? It was a false flag, just like the ones that are coming. What? The insurrection deal? You're saying that the whole thing was a false flag? Maybe. It was Trump's false flag, though. Oh, fuck. This is such a mess. Why did I get involved in this? Why am I even trying to fucking sort this out?
Unverified true. Like, it's not, nobody even contests this.
I mean, I don't know anything about it. And like I said, in terms of
RC Wodinsky, what's up, bro? Thanks for checking out the Cracker Chris, right? What's up, bro? How's it going? Good to see you here. Yeah, bro, I'm here every weeknight, fucking 7:30, 8 o'clock. If it's Alex Stein day, Tuesday through Thursday, I start at 8. Monday and Friday, start at like 7:30-ish. Yeah, Cracker Chris, I know that's you. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Thanks for coming checking out the show. We're just getting through this little debate. Well, it's not a little debate, but yeah, it's not too long. These guys are arguing over insurrection. Some other shit's going to come up here in a minute. And anyway, we're just getting through this.
No offense, just trusting that your fact pattern and the things, support your conclusions. In this conversation, I disagree. That's a nice piece back there. The shotgun. You shoot clay?
Yeah, skated trap, depending on what's near me. But
don't try to change the subject.
Where do you live?
Miami Beach.
Oh, that is not what I would have guessed. I went to UFC 287 in Miami, and it was the first show that Trump came into the building for. And I was sitting in the front row with, well, not the front. I was like in that close right next to it because I'm buddies with the Miami Dolphins coach, and all these NFL guys were there. And a few of them, I heard them talking before, before the show, and they were saying like, man, I can't have a picture taken with Trump. Like,
this guy just loves to talk about who his buddies are
because they were worried about backlash or whatnot. And when Trump came in, the place literally, I've never heard a crowd go that bananas for anything. I've been to a million UFC shows. They cheered louder for Trump and longer for Trump than I've ever seen ever. And so I looked over at the guys that had said it, and it's this look of bewilderment that I can't even describe. It's like it's like they were like, oh wow, I lived in this world where I actually believed everybody hates this guy, and now I'm faced with the reality that in this building, everyone not only likes him, they fucking love him. And it's like I've said to a lot of people, I'm like, listen, dude, I don't care what you think of the guy. If you are in the building and felt that energy of the collective, all that excited about him, you would get behind him just because it feels good to have everybody that positive and optimistic. It's like you think that I don't know what you think actually about why people support Trump, but that's what it is. Humans are tribal creatures. Like, we are supposed to find other like-minded people, tribe up. We battle against other tribes. It's just primal. And as much as like I disagree with people on politics, I really do see every single person in this country as an American that's on my team. Like, I don't see.
The number one complaint I have with this guy is he doesn't use headphones to stream. That right there is a red flag.
Like some enemy state on the other side. But the people who hate Trump, you guys do because you hate him that much. You dislike him that much.
He's un-American, yes.
But see, I think it's un-American to be flipping about an American who got shot in front of his kids.
There's nothing un-American about that.
Oh, RC, I got this. I got it sped up a little bit. I have it at 1.5 speed. It's a little bit faster. This guy Destiny talks fast as fuck sometimes, but yeah, it sounds a lot crazier because I got it sped up a little bit just so I can get through it a little faster.
So Americans have a wide range of views on violence and violent conduct or whatever. But the subverting the democratic process, fighting against like every single branch of government, saying you're going to be a dictator on day one. How do you feel when he says he has the right to suspend the Constitution to look for voter fraud?
Yeah, guys, I don't I don't like the talk either. Again, I'm trying to be fair here. I don't like the talk when Trump talks about being a fucking dictator day one and stuff. I don't like what that Trump is saying to some crowd that I just need you guys to vote this one last time and you won't ever need to vote again. It's like, okay. That doesn't have a really, that doesn't give you bad vibes at all, does it? Right? No, that's kind of why even say something like that? Why, Trump? Why do you fucking do this to me?
I don't know about that. Let me ask you this. Do you think that it was a reasonable conclusion that his supporters had that there might have been widespread shenanigans in the swing states?
No,
given the
that's just fabricated, made by Donald Trump's campaign. And every single one of these major claims was a total and absolute lie. And you can follow the genesis of them all the way to the culmination. And it always ends with people like Giuliani or Powell or Fox News saying, we lied about this. That's why Fox News lost their Dominion lawsuit. That's why Giuliani and Sidney Powell said they lied and they settled with the states that they were fighting with. All of them did. Every single one. That's why he lost 62 out of 63 of his court cases.
I'm not talking about those guys. I'm saying the citizens of the country who voted for Trump, given the circumstances, was it reasonable for them to be suspicious of the election results, given that the mail-in voting thing happened? Trump is winning when they go to sleep. They wake up and suddenly it's flip-flopped.
No, everybody knew that was going to happen. Every single person. People were talking about it beforehand.
Why did they know that was going to happen?
Because Donald Trump was telling his supporters from day one that mail-in ballots were going to be rigged. So they weren't going to participate in the mail-in ballot system.
They knew that there was going to be a big jump in Biden votes.
Yes.
Because of the mail-in voting. But the reason that everyone knew that is because the mainstream media told them that. And the mainstream media, from their perspective, is literally just control propaganda for the other side. So like, that's not convincing that they said,
do you agree that Democrats took like social distancing and masking more seriously than Republicans?
Yeah.
Okay. So they were more likely to vote by mail.
No, Destiny is 100% right here. Yeah. Trump, the Republicans, everybody was pretty much on the same page. Like, if you're voting for Trump, you're voting in person. I'm probably on voting day too. You can't vote early because they'll steal that vote also. So no, Destiny's 100% right. This is the one, this is the one really good argument as to why it's possible that Joe actually won. And it even hurts for me to say but that he won fair and square is, you know what? People wouldn't even show up to a rally, a Biden rally. Not that he was kind of doing like shit where he only allowed like 5 people or something, right? But, you know, people don't like Biden enough to actually go to a rally. They probably don't even like him enough to go get their ass up off the couch and go on voting day to vote for him. But I could see millions of people, millions upon millions, probably enough to win the election, that they don't care that much about him, but they'll stay on their couch and fill out the ballot and put it back in the mail. They can do that. They barely care enough to do that, but that's easy enough. So it's like, dude, and they did change some of the rules. I given up on caring whether it was stolen or not. But yeah, there were states that that was part of the issue. I think that they were contesting is like that they changed the rules up and even accepted ballots after they weren't supposed to accept them or something. Yeah, there's all kinds of shit involved with the aspect of making, sending out as many fucking ballots as they sent out. So anyway,
mail-in ballot than Republicans, right?
Oh, I'm not saying that they weren't.
Yeah, Destiny is totally right here, though. That's what I was getting at. If you were paying attention, you knew that the mail-in ballots were going to get counted and be majority for Biden.
More likely to. I'm talking about, was it reasonable for the voters to be suspicious of the outcome? I'm telling you, I am not saying whether or not the election was stolen. I don't know. I'm asking, like, on a personal level, each of these individuals.
I mean, you can have a little bit of suspicion, I guess, sure, but like all the states investigated all their stuff and everything came up green. Every place they checked. So,
would you understand, given the way that the Mueller report played out and that entire saga, why people would be not fast to believe any official narrative that came about related to the election, especially after COVID, where literally everything that they said all along the way ended up being not.
Thanks. Thank you.
The state Supreme Court has ruled that frozen embryos have the same legal rights as children.
Oh no!
Many doctors say,
oh no!
this decision will force them to suspend.
What is this an ad for? This is one thing we like to do on my channel is analyze the ads that they give me, because it's never anything that I will ever use ever in my life, and I like to know what companies and stuff are getting ripped off by YouTube, because they're getting charged for this play right here, I think.
IVF care.
Can you believe these anti-abortion nut jobs?
I thought IVF was for trying to have a baby. What's that got to do with abortion?
If a frozen embryo has the same rights as you and me under the law, suddenly abortion can be legally considered murder.
Oh, this isn't a beer commercial. This is menforchoice.org. What the fuck? I've never seen this ad before. This is crazy. This isn't for beer. This is actually this is meant to be a political ad. Men for Choice. That's crazy. And think about it. I mean, we can argue about, whatever, supporting different politicians. I've more leaned pro-life, and they're sending me a commercial for this fucking website that I'm never going to. You know what? Should we go to this website? menforchoice.org. Let's skip the ad.
True.
First of all, that's not true. Everything.
I might look that up. Hold on.
The Democrats of the left were far more accurate about COVID than anything the conservatives said. I'm still waiting for people to mass die from vaccines. I'm still waiting for the mass blood clots and the mass vaccine injuries and the mass mandatory vaccine periods and the mass vaccine passports. Like, none of this ever happened. So the conservatives were dead wrong on literally all of that. So I don't know where we have this idea that the liberals were wrong.
Oh, hold on a second. Back up. What was he talking about? Hold up. Smoke weed every day.
Being not true.
First of all, that's not true. Everything, the Democrats of the left were far more accurate about COVID than anything the conservatives said. I'm still waiting for people to mass die from vaccines. I'm still waiting for the mass.
Oh, yes. Good thing I was paying attention here. Yes. See, this is one of my issues here, and I hear all these left-wing people like Professor Dave and Destiny and anyone that leans towards the left that is, has an opinion on this shit. They love to take the craziest. This is the crazy. I can't believe people are able to just squirm their way out of admitting that they were wrong. It's truly impressive. But I love that now that we know that there were real side effects to that thing, those things, you know, now that that is provable 100% that yes, some of those people got heart problems, and people even in the trials, this woman was on Patrick Bet-David's show and talked about she was in, I think it was, I don't know if it was Moderna or AstraZeneca. It wasn't the Pfizer one, I don't think. But anyway, she was in people in the trials for those things got injured. And plenty of people that just did it because they were pressured by society and whatnot, or just believed that it would work. Regardless, there were side effects. People got injured. People died. People got heart problems that are not going away. People got Bell's palsy, all kinds of shit. Alex Jones yelled that people were going to get AIDS, that it was going to give you AIDS. And lo and behold, the fucking AstraZeneca one that I think it was AstraZeneca, the one that they had in Australia actually had part of the HIV virus in it and actually made you test positive for HIV. Some of these people were freaking out because they were testing positive for HIV after they got that thing, you know? So it's really funny that now that we know all of that, we know that myocarditis and some of this stuff happened. Some people were injured. So that 100% debunks the safe and effective claim. It 100% proves that you people were wrong. So now you go, oh, well, everyone isn't dead. And, oh, there wasn't microchips in them. Aren't you guys silly? I never said that there were microchips. I never said everyone would die. I said it is completely retarded to think that something is effective, but it's safe. The fact that they would dare to tell people that is completely immoral and unethical, disgusting. And I could see that as it was happening, as they were telling people, oh, it's safe and effective, you guys. I mean, we can't, peanuts aren't allowed in school. You can't bring a tray of brownies that have, or cookies that have peanuts in it. It's against the law pretty much, because some people will literally die from a peanut. But here's this drug that you can just, it's safe and effective, you guys. We promise nothing's going to happen. Just go get it. There's no reason to not go get it. All lies, all lies. And so now you go, oh, look, we're not all dead. See, you were wrong. No, I was right. I was right. People died from it. People have irreversible health problems, consequences from taking that. I was right. People are dead. Every time I bring this up, those people, they always go, water isn't even safe. What do you mean? Like, obviously there's going to be some, no. You guys said safe and effective. They go, well, how do you define safe? People can drown in a swimming pool, so water isn't even safe. So how do you define safe? It's not up to me to define safe. I don't tell people that anything is safe, because that implies that you're not going to get hurt. That implies that is meant to let your guard down. No shit, because they're selling those fucking things. They're selling a drug. How fucking stupid it is. I mean, that's just, people are naive and they just have faith in the medical community. That's what it is. It is truly like a religious thing that you would completely abandon critical thinking and go, oh yeah, the CDC says it's safe and effective. Oh, yeah, the same people that injected black people with syphilis and then didn't treat them to stop the syphilis, just to watch them squirm and die. Those people, yeah, they said that this thing is safe and effective. So we're just going to take it. It is beyond me that people truly don't understand how fucking retarded that is. True, you don't even have to know about the fucking Tuskegee situation where the CDC injected black people with syphilis. You don't even have to know about that to just know, safe and effective. Safe and effective. Does anything work like that? Does anything work like that? Anything at all? No. No, things that are effective are generally not safe. Things that have an effect, you can have too much of it or too little. That's just like it actually mathematically makes no sense to just go safe and effective. Yeah, that sounds legit. Makes no fucking sense. So here we are. All of you aren't dead yet, so I guess I'm wrong. Only a few people had heart attacks and fucking died. That's what I said. Well, but, I guess I'm wrong now because people don't have microchips in them. Oops, I guess I was wrong. So fucking stupid.
Blood clots and the mass vaccine injuries and the mass mandatory vaccine periods and the mass vaccine passports, like none of this ever happened. So the conservatives.
He's doing you see how he wouldn't dare leave the word mass out of that. Mass casualties, mass. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because we were right that some people would die from it. And you called it safe and effective. You had the fucking gall to call it safe and effective. Holy fucking retardation.
We're dead wrong on literally all of that. So I don't know where we have this idea that the liberals were wrong every step of the way. Yeah, no.
You said safe and effective, and that implies people aren't going to get hurt. How many? Can someone answer? Someone that's pro injectables. Can someone give me a number? How many heart attacks should I expect when something's called safe? Just tell me so that I know the next time they roll out a new fucking drug. Just tell me how many fucking heart attacks and deaths can a drug cause and we can still call it safe. I just want to know because that'll help me to know what to do in the future. Truly, I need an answer. How many heart attacks should we expect? Because I need to know what the standard is here. Because people throw a word around like safe and then go get a fucking heart attack. So that just seems kind of weird to me. I know I'm crazy. I know that. But that just seems weird to me. I don't know why. It just seems off.
On that topic, so again, any numbers that come out, I have no ability to verify those. I wouldn't even get into what the numbers on the vaccine were. But on this particular topic, this is one of those things where I talk to people all the time about, how they view politics, policy specific. And in many cases, I can look at them like, this is like a game for this person. Like they don't really understand how this is going to, or
hold on, wait, okay, hold on. Just before we move on, because you jump from everything. Do you acknowledge that every single conspiracy about vaccines ended up being incorrect?
No, but let me.
Nope. Just the ones that you are holding up as a straw man. And, I don't even know what Alex Jones said about mass casualties. He was at least partly right about the things giving you HIV. Oops. Alex Jones, right again, at least partly. He had some kind of good source. I guess whoever the fuck told him, or maybe he didn't explain it properly, but somebody knew something that gave Alex Jones the heads up that, oh yeah, the ones that these people are getting in Australia or wherever the fuck, it's causing people to test positive for HIV. Oh, you know why? Because they used a piece of the HIV virus in the injectable thing. So, that's what's causing the tests. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. No fucking way. Alex Jones nearly hit the nail on the head again.
What was one that ended up being correct?
I mean, the fact that they were, it's not even about conspiracy.
Adam Wiley, mass manipulation. Regardless of whether you think there were some positive versus negative, and you could even argue, oh, well, I think the positive outweighed the negative. That's not what safe means. That's not what safe and effective means. Okay, that has never been what that means. So it was mass manipulation.
It was an untested medicine, an untested.
It was tested, right? There were trials, right?
No, they did no human trials on the boosters. Also,
wait, no, not the boosters on the original.
Yeah, this guy doesn't. Jesse on Fire, you kind of just showed up not knowing, not knowing anything that you were going to talk about.
Well, vaccine. There were trials for that, right?
Yes, there were trials. Come on, let's get past it.
Oh, I don't know. There are no long-term studies for sure. They did it on the
because it was emergency use authorization.
Yeah, he's right about that. No long-term stuff. Almost every other drug, we got years and years and years of data before we fucking roll anything out. And the standard for the number of people injured by the thing, injured by the new drug, I think it's like those standards were violated as well. The amount of people that report a possible connection to some bad adverse side effect, all of those standards were completely dropped for this new thing.
Right? Why is it? Did you feel the same way about the monoclonal antibody treatment? Because that was emergency use authorization. Why didn't conservatives protest that? Joe Rogan promoted
because
that.
nobody mandated that they take it.
But it was the same type of trialing for
but nobody mandated they take it. I didn't have a problem with the COVID vaccine. The problem was always with the government mandating that people take it against their will.
The problem wasn't just the mandates. There were a whole bunch of claims made. The things that you just said, there weren't any testing for. That doesn't have to do with mandating or not. You're saying that it's an untested even if there were no mandates, that would still be a bad thing, right?
I'm saying the reason why people were not unreasonable to not want to take the vaccine was because there are no long-term trials, and then the government came in and threatened their jobs and forced them to take it.
Well, that didn't happen. It died in the Supreme Court, right? The government never was able to mandate the vaccine for the country, right?
So did New York fire 70,000 healthcare workers that refused to take the shot?
For New York State? Are we talking about the federal government? Are we talking about state governments or
across?
Government, Destiny, government. You really think that the fucking distinction of state versus federal matters at all in this equation? Bro, this is crazy.
Across the board.
Did New York State implement that? Was that a New York State policy, or were these just hospitals implementing it?
Yes.
No, New York State. When Andrew Cuomo went through his thing of, whatever was going on.
He said you couldn't even go into the store and buy food without getting one. Yes. Yes, they were keeping people from doing everything in New York unless you had the fucking thing. Yes, Destiny. Yes. One fact in this debate that you weren't aware of. Gotcha. Okay.
On to where he resigned. And literally the very first action that the new governor took was she fired 70,000 healthcare workers in New York who did not want to take the shot. The healthcare workers, and many of them had already had COVID. And so they're like, I have the antibodies. And they're like, too bad you have to take the shot. And they're like, they're medical professionals. They're like, there's no long-term studies. I don't feel comfortable taking the shot. And they lost their jobs. 70,000 in New York alone.
I would have to look this up, but I don't
know about the number he's giving, but I know that he's right on the premise. I'm almost 100,000% sure he's right on the premise that this was New York State. And I think it was more than just saying I could look this up, I guess, but let's keep this playing. Last time I tried to look something up, I needed to jump in on this. And anyway,
that's a fact.
Considering every single other thing you said is incorrect, I would be hesitant to believe this. It might come from the government. It might come from a union. It might come from a hospital. But it
came from the state governor, 70,000.
Okay.
That's why I've always been suspicious about why Cuomo got ousted. Because I was like, this seems weird. Like the guy's the hero. And then all of a sudden they're like, this is going on. And then he resigns. And then the very first thing that she did, my hypothesis was like, maybe he just was not going along with the program. He's like, I'm not going to fire the healthcare workers. And I know like the federal government, they tried to do the OSHA thing. My opinion was they knew that was going to fail in court. And they did it just to get as many people to take the shot as possible before it died in court. And listen, I have no problem with people taking the shot whatsoever. Everyone in my family took it. In all honesty, I probably would have taken it under different circumstances.
Well, for claims about the health impacts of the vaccine, do you agree that none of those came true?
No.
Which thing about that was said about vaccines at the time, which of those ended up being correct?
That they cause myocarditis
Thank you.
Especially in teenage boys. That's a fact now.
At rates like comparable to or lesser than COVID itself, right? Like COVID causes myocarditis, right?
There are different studies.
Everybody got fucking COVID before the injectables were available. Let's get over this idea that you fucking we have to COVID causes myocarditis too, so we have to get the injections because those we might get a little bit less myocarditis. We all fucking got COVID before these things were available. Let's stop fucking pretending.
That have different conclusions, but no. And
do you think that COVID causes myocarditis?
Of course, that's not in dispute.
Okay, the rates for myocarditis, I think the most at-risk group was for like young men. It was like 7 to 14 out of 100.
Any of you guys, I can just for a reference, if you watch when Sanjay Gupta, the doctor from CNN, that guy, when he went on Rogan's podcast, They talked about this. They debated this, and Sanjay Gupta looked like a complete fucking retard because he got schooled by Joe Rogan. I know some left-wing person, well, I'd hope someone left-wing is watching, but anyway, one of you is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm sure that's really how it went. Yeah, this fucking idiot is a Trump supporter, so he thinks Joe Rogan schooled Sanjay Gupta. Go fucking watch it yourself. Sanjay Gupta brought up a study or an article or something. Sanjay Gupta was literally the one to bring it up, that they showed more people about myocarditis and hospitalizations related to myocarditis and side effects and this and that. The one that they brought up and looked at, Sanjay Gupta read it wrong. He thought that this study or article said that more people were hospitalized for COVID-related myocarditis versus injectable vaccine-related myocarditis. It was the opposite. In fact, the study that Sanjay Gupta went over on Rogan's podcast, that study showed, or article, I don't remember exactly what it was. Regardless, the study said that more people were hospitalized for myocarditis from the vaccine than people were hospitalized for, I think it was any COVID symptom. I believe this was for only a certain age group. It might have been 18 to 49s. I'm not exactly sure, but it was something like that, where they were comparing. They were doing the most liberal comparison in terms of being favorable to the vaccine, and yet it showed that the vaccines cause worse myocarditis. It's already late. I'm already on here later than I should be, so I don't have time to go. We can maybe look this up tomorrow. We can go over it tomorrow. So there's a cliffhanger. Well, I will find that clip and or the study, and I'll bring it up to you.
1,000 people. Right. This is a very, very, very rare side effect. And most myocarditis is acute. It doesn't last for more than, I think, a week or whatever. Right. It's not like a permanent disability. Right.
If people rest. So like athletes that took the shot and got an inflamed heart with myocarditis and they kept on training, that is why there were so many, in my opinion, that's not for sure.
Oh, and I did look it up. Yes. New York passed a mandate that to work in New York, you've 100% had to have the vaccine. I was looking this up on this other page. Yeah, and so you know what? I'll screen share for a second just in case someone watching thinks I'm making some shit up, because there's been all kinds of people in the chat. I appreciate other people checking it out. I do have strong opinions on these things, and I'm willing to hear other arguments and whatnot. But here we go. The Jesse on Fire was correct on this, and I was correct in the other term, or in terms of he was just talking about working. But I remember this specifically because I wrote some parody songs about the vaccine stuff, and this was a line that never made it into a song about about having to get a vax to do anything. August 26, 2021, the Key to New York City program requiring proof of vaccination for indoor activities went into effect August 17th. So what's that saying? Yes, indoor activities. That means if you want to do anything in New York to go inside, you would have to show your vaccine passport. That's a little bit worse than just saying you need the thing to work in New York City. That means the fucking bums on the street can't even fucking go in and get a bag of chips with money that they bummed off of somebody unless they got the fucking death jab, whatever. So it's even worse than this guy described Destiny. And Destiny is just like, I guess I'm assuming because he got the thing willingly, these events of people being coerced to get the vaccine, those don't stand out to him, and he doesn't remember it as well because he went and got it on his own free will. But to those of us who felt the pressure, even within my own family, people telling me that, oh yeah, Biden is passing this thing with OSHA that you're going to have to get it. and this and that, and they're going to start forcing people to get it, so you might want to just go get it. That was actually a conversation that I had with people in my family, telling me that they are passing laws that you're going to have to get it, so you better just go ahead and go do it, pressuring me.
I have a problem with that. And the point that I was making earlier was I always want to know how policies impact the person specifically. And in terms of the vaccine, what happened to us was my youngest daughter got hurt by a vaccine when she was a baby. We didn't have any, we had no problem with vaccines until she got hurt. So we got medical exemptions in California. So everybody, it's mandated that all the kids have to have shots in California to go to public school, except for if they have medical exemptions. And the entire reason that they said that the mandates had to be put in place was to protect immunocompromised children. So then when they introduced a bill in California that was going to invalidate all of the medical exemptions, meaning doctors said vaccines, you are especially high risk to be injured by a vaccine, they were going to invalidate all of those under the story that someone was writing a bunch of fake ones. There was already a 97% vaccine adoption rate. There was no reason to do it whatsoever. My wife said they were going to pass it. I was like, that's impossible. The entire basis of the mandates is to protect kids that have medical exemptions, and they fucking passed it anyway. And so we had the choice of either sticking 60 shots in each of our kids that have been determined by a doctor to be more likely to be injured by a vaccine, or leave the state. And we fucking left the state. That's my life. That actually happened.
Okay, that's probably a good thing, right? I don't care what, whatever you make up for your kid is whatever you want to make up for your kid, but why do I want my kid to go to school with a kid who is running around as a fucking bioweapon because their parents don't want to be a vaccine?
Raising Cane's is celebrating our golden birthday, but not just with deliciously golden hand-battered chicken fingers. We're starting the party by giving
vaccinated for anything, right? That's why we have measles
and stuff coming back.
Why
would it matter what they're around? They're vaccinated. They're safe. How would it possibly matter?
Because vaccines work by via herd immunity, right? The idea that you can just vaccinate one person and they're automatically super protected from every single disease isn't exactly how vaccines work. It relies on a certain percentage of the population being vaccinated. It relies on the viral load. So when you've got a bunch of kids that are just not being vaccinated because their parents have whatever political opinions, I don't want my kid around those people, right? They can be homeschooled or they can go to another state, I guess. It allows it to
what does that have to do with California invalidating a kid who's immunocompromised from vaccines and telling them?
I don't even know what that means. An immunocompromised person, so somebody that would need vaccines more than anybody else. I don't know why an immunocompromised.
We're talking about high-risk kids, like kids who are high risk of being vaccine injured, have medical exemptions, so they did not have to take
I would have
shots.
to do more research. I don't know what that means. High risk.
Okay, so this is I'm just calling them like I see them. Destiny, this shows that you haven't you haven't even heard some of the good debates on vaccine shit. This is literally the go-to when these people want to shame the non-vaxxed. They will say, well, you are putting other people at risk. And when you go, well, how are you at risk? If you got the vax, then I don't have it. You're protected. So what's the problem? And they go, well, it's for the immunocompromised people that they can't get the vax. This is his first time hearing, apparently, his first time hearing that is a reason for everyone having to get herd immunity and get vaxxed, is because there are immunocompromised people that actually will get injured by the vaccine, which actually also disproves your theory that it was safe and effective to begin with. There are people that actually get a medical exemption because the vaccine will kill them because they have a bad immune system. So it's literally, they're better off fighting off a fucking virus that they may or may not get, and maybe they don't go out as much. I don't fucking know. My mom is immunocompromised, but she got the vaccine. She doesn't have I guess an compromise that's related to a risk with getting injected like that. But anyway, this is, whatever. I've called this guy out every time he didn't know something crucial to the argument. This is like day one of arguing with somebody about vaccines on Twitter. This is what you get. Day one, fighting with somebody about vaccines. It's for the immunocompromised people because they can't.
It's the only state in the country.
It sounds strange to me. If you're so immunocompromised that a vaccine would mess you up that bad, I imagine the COVID-19 would mess you up like way worse. That would be my imagination.
Oh my God, dude.
COVID's not even in this. We're not even talking about COVID. We're just talking about the vaccine schedule in general.
You're getting the vaccine to not get COVID, right? Or at least have an easier time dealing with it, right? So if you're immunocompromised, wouldn't COVID be worse for you than the vaccine?
There are a lot of reasons why certain kids can be more susceptible to negative effects from the vaccine. You can acknowledge that there are people who have negative effects.
I haven't heard of that. Wait, they have more negative effects of the vaccine than the disease itself.
No.
I'm not aware.
There are people who have negative effects.
Oh my God, dude. You don't think that it's like, if being exposed to the vaccine or the virus either or would kill you, don't you think you're better off not getting the vaccine and just trying to avoid the virus? Is that not, am I retarded for thinking that that makes sense? That seems like simple math to me.
Like, listen, I'm not an absolutist on vaccines at all. If you like, I know people who are like, if you ask me, is the society going to be better off if everyone's vaccinated or if no one's vaccinated? That's easy. Of course, vaccinated. I understand why they structure the system the way that they do for herd immunity, etc. What I'm saying is that the main problem with the vaccine structure is that they took all liability off of the vaccine manufacturers, and so they have no incentive whatsoever to make them as safe as possible.
Well, how would they have no incentive?
Because they have no liability. If
they don't need liability. The company would go to business. If you made a horrible vaccine, they would, because nobody would want to buy their stuff anymore. What do you mean?
Well, what if it's a government contract, Destiny? What if they're already sold? What if they're already sold to the government and the government paid for them already? And that's literally the reason that people were getting the old vaccines when the new strains of the virus supposedly were running around, because the government had already paid for all of these doses and a bunch of people didn't get it because OSHA couldn't require everyone to fucking get it. So they had to get rid of what they already purchased. They were already paid for, Destiny. They were already paid for. They have literally no incentive to make them safe. Already bought and paid for.
Okay.
Just because being sued isn't the only way you can go out of business, right?
Yeah. If a kid gets injured by a vaccine, the process that they go through is they go to like this secret government thing that they have to sign NDAs to get the payout. The taxpayers pay it. The vaccine companies have zero liability. Literally, if a vaccine company was manufacturing a series of vaccines and somebody at the plant put Clorox bleach into a huge thing and 1,000 kids got killed, none of them can sue that vaccine company. That's a fact. They go to this court, and then the taxpayers pay it off, because in like the 80s, the vaccine company said that so many people were getting injured by the vaccines that it's not fiscally possible for us to continue to do it. So they wrote the bill, they passed the bill that took liability off of them.
Okay. Now, are you a military guy?
Do
you think should they not vaccinate like people in the military, like in basic training, or should you be allowed to have exemptions for that?
Completely depends on what they're vaccinating for and what the purpose is.
Well, they vaccinate a fuck ton of shit.
But no, I know. What do you think that they should mandate Navy SEALs to take the COVID-19 shot when they have no risk of getting seriously ill or killed by COVID? And again, COVID vaccine has no long-term studies.
You say no risk of. I mean, like, there's very little risk of the vaccine hurting you as well. Like, generally, the reason you get vaccinated,
they have no idea. They don't know what the risk is because they have no long-term studies.
Billions of people. There's the idea of a vaccine side effect showing up in like 5 years doesn't make sense, right?
Look that up.
There have been no vaccine side effects of any approved vaccine that have shown up past 3 months of being injected. That's what I found when I looked it up.
Inaccurate.
Okay. All right. Listen, if you want to chat another point, we can. I have another show I have to do like 10 minutes. I need to run downstairs to my studio, but
all right, brother.
Yeah, if you ever want to argue about any particular topic. Also, listen, if you ever want to dive into any particular things, like you've got like a particular study research or like where we get into the weeds, I think, because that's where I specialize. Let me know. Shoot me a link and we can go over it. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, dude. This is fun.
Have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye.
Well, there you have it.
Holy fucking AIDS shit. I don't even know. Oh God, it's like that's my mom. That is my mom. That person is my mom right there. 100%. Both my parents are exactly like that person. The whiplash from wait, so the Mueller report and the investigation, all that was really horrible and terrible, right? Like this is, that whole investigation was terrible and horrible and fake news. But what about the Hillary stuff? You mean where she acid bleached her servers and it's like, wait, what? Fuck me, dude. I can't. There are better ways to approach that, but I fuck me. Yeah. Maybe if I wasn't as time crunch, we could just stay on one thing, but holy shit. And thank you for the $100. Okay, I'm gonna run downstairs, start everything with Dan. I had a $50 donut earlier too. Oh, from Edmund as well. Thanks, I love you.
All right. So there you have it. Again, it was in conclusion here. I guess they didn't really know exactly what they were get into, but I hate to see someone from the conservative side just straight up be like, yeah, I'm not arguing with any facts on this. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. Not a good look. Not a good look. So anyway, this has been fun. I'm glad I could get to the end. I knew that the that last subject was going to come up. I didn't know how in depth they were going to go into that, but I do kind of feel like I would survive, probably even excel a little bit in a debate with Destiny about the injectable stuff. But who knows? It depends on what the actual premise of the debate would be. I mean, I'd have to truly make sure that I agree with the premise. It would have to be something, precise enough that, I have to make sure it aligns with how I actually feel or what I could actually prove, at least philosophically. as the premise. But anyway, all right. Thank you all for checking out the stream and hanging with me. Got a few people from Facebook to check it out tonight. That's nice. Sometimes I think the titles I use sometimes don't they get put in a bad algorithm some places. But anyway, yeah, I guess tonight it did okay on Facebook. Thank you all for checking out the stream. I really do appreciate it. Please give your boy a fucking like and subscribe and all of that good stuff, because it is truly a struggle out here. And I know I mentioned it already today on the stream, but yeah, if you haven't seen already on my YouTube, please sub to the YouTube. I got parody songs and stuff up there. I got a Tim Walls parody, fucking P. Diddy parody. They're on my other social media also, fucking Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. On YouTube, a lot of the time they don't get good views because they get hit with a copyright and then they just get buried. But anyway, thank you for checking out the show. This has been Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. I love you for listening, for real. I hope we can have some more good conversations. Please come back and check out the stream. I'm on every weeknight pretty much by 8 p.m. latest normally. So yeah, come check it out. And I do ice baths on Sundays, like every other Sunday. Hell yeah. Cold plunge, little ice bath, little freeze my ass off, testicles become ovaries up in my body, penis shrinks up. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow, right? Yeah. All right. Love ya. Love ya. Good night. Where's the thing? Thank you.